Oh my god. Already? Dude, we haven't even started. Calm down. That'll take care of it. Anyway, ease time. Welcome back, everybody. I hope the cool music is working for all of you.
I can hear it.
Okay, cool. I barely can, so I'm gonna try wearing my headphones like half on, half off, just to.
No.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh man, I can hear myself this in a sec. Anyway, no, can't do it. I tried. All right, so as long as the music's playing, that's all that matters. So welcome back. You guys have succeeded. That's it. We don't need to have a huge recap. You released the kraken. You fought Oceanus. You brought the undead to man the Athenian navy flotilla of trireme out to sea. You battled ferociously against Oceanus. It was a hard battle, a tough, fraught battle, but you won. You defeated Oceanus, cast him back into the sea, and your ploy to bring Poseidon free ended up helping you in the end. Oceanus was not given the ability to escape as a massive iceberg shelf rose from the sea created by Poseidon. He did not have his trident and thus was not as powerful as before, but gave you this final edge to deal the final blows. And in the end, it was Katara who not only slew him the first time, but slew him the second time. With the power of her eldritch blasts, sent some hold to the ocean titan, and Ouroboros, with a final banishing punch, punched him so hard that he literally went flying through dimensions. And that is exactly what happened. And that is where we pick up the session today. As you saw, Poseidon, now armed once more with his trident, and Aphrodite at his side, the individual you sent to go free him, sort of come to rest on the top of the iceberg. And with that, you'll see sort of pulling themselves from the sea onto the iceberg, you are going to see quite a few nymphs. Thalia, you would recognize these nymphs.
Aww.
There's about a couple dozen of them, less than 50. But they all begin to pull themselves from the sea and look around, and they begin to sort of poke each other and point, and then eventually begin to wave across the iceberg to you,
Yeah.
Thalia.
I'll run to the nymphs and start giving them all like hugs and kisses, and it's so good to see you all again. I'm glad you're safe.
You run to them, they gather around you, and they celebrate you. You hug and kiss them, they hug and kiss you back. They go, "It's so good to see you again. You remembered us. We thought you forgot about us, but you didn't. And we're so happy. Look at you, so beautiful. Look at them." And they all just begin to start just loving on you and giving you kisses and hugs and celebrating you, and are surprised by how graceful and beautiful you've become. You weren't always, but and they're also happy, and they basically regard you as their savior, the person who never gave up on them, and they're oh so happy to see you.
So cool. Man, that was like
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Out of game, that was a long,
Yeah.
that was way back when Jay
It
Silver
really was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But I will, just spend some time with my nymphs and I'll ask them what all they can be captured and freed, and just tell me of their tales.
and they all tell you, they say that like after they got off the island of Aeaea after the curse was broken, they went looking for somewhere to hide, and they kind of made their way around the seas for a little while, but eventually the monsters of Oceanus caught up with them and sort of brought them into the sea, and sort of like hid them away. They expect that they were going to be used as like blackmail or bait or something like that, but were essentially like kind of there for the amusement of Oceanus. and also to sort of like mock the gods. Um, yeah, so they've been kind of like, they've been guests of Oceanus, but not really allowed to leave. And he's been kind of tormenting them and using them for his own excitements. And it hasn't been the best, but them seeing you lifts their hearts, and they're happy to be free, and they're ever indebted to you.
And I'll tell them that, so we've reclaimed Aea, and we've done away with Circe, and I don't know if you found a home yet, but you could return there if you still consider that a home.
They all look at each other and they're all like, "Yeah, we're good, we're good." Yeah.
Yeah.
They all immediately are like, "Yeah, it's okay." They didn't like Circe too much. They had to be nice to her because she was a god, but they're happy to be free.
Well, where do you think you'll settle now?
They all look at each other and they're like, "I don't know. Where should we go?" And they all like look at each other. They haven't thought that far ahead, and they're like, what do you think? Where should we go?"
I'll look at Poseidon and try to make eye contact.
And we'll say that him and Aphrodite are kind of standing there, almost like mom and dad, just like sort of like happy to see everybody doing okay again, because the Oceanids are the children of Poseidon, if I'm not mistaken, and or Oceanus, but I'm pretty sure it's Poseidon. I'll look it up. But anyway, they're just happy to see like you all uniting again. They know it's been a long time coming for you, and they're just kind of watching happily. You catch his eye.
Yeah, and as I I hear Atlantis is the most spectacular city, and
So, sorry, hang on, sorry. Just letting it settle. Oceanid, blah blah blah. 3,000 Norwegian dollars. Oh, so yeah, they're the daughters of so that kind of changes. Yeah, not entirely. So they're the daughters of Oceanus and his wife, but they're not affiliated. Poseidon says, "The daughters of the sea will always be welcome in Atlantis, if it is what they wish to do, where they wish to be." And they'll all kind of be like, "Oh, that's nice, that's fun," and they all are like talking amongst themselves, deciding if that sounds cool or not for them, and they look at you and be like, "Where will you be, Thalia?"
well, I reside on Olympus now.
They're all like, "Oh," they're all like are kind of sad that you're too far afield for them these days. But yeah.
Make no mistake, I'll continue watching over you and cherish you as my own.
I'll go, yeah, they're sort of happy and celebrate that idea. And then they'll figure out where they want to go, but they're happy to know that they have a place. They have a place in Poseidon's realm. But yeah, for now they just seem content to be with you.
I do intend to watch over you and continue my patronage, and now if you just say but a simple prayer, I can hear you more directly. No need for the shout.
And they're all like, yeah, they're all happy and they celebrate and they're very happy. That's it. They're just really happy. They're just full of joy to be free. And they're a little overwhelmed that they have the whole world ahead of them. Many will probably go to Atlantis, but for the time being, they seem content to sort of follow you like lost ones.
I'll spend time with them and kind of, I don't know, maybe learn some names and get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever caught names last time.
It's okay. And then they don't mind them. It's been a long time. Yeah. So pulling away from that, I think the next most immediate thing worth dealing with is that you, Alesia, have pulled Korax from near death. I believe you healed him, yeah?
I was about to cast heal.
Oh shit, big one. Alright, heal. My man is going to take on that 70 hit points. He sort of sputters to life and coughs. You've like got him in your arms and everything. Uh, and he's like, oh,
You,
it's you.
yes, it's me. You've that was the dumbest brain dead thing I've seen a mortal do in decades. Impressive.
He got hit pretty hard. He's like, just like smiles at you and nods.
Okay.
Like, hey,
My name is Alesia. Yours?
oh, I'm Korax. It is Paladin Korax. It is good to meet you.
Bowden Corax.
Yeah.
You earned that title today. Charge against the Titan. Charging
Yeah,
against the Titan like that.
So did I kill it, or was that someone else?
Yeah. Yes. Someone else, but you tried.
Oh man.
More can be said of more can be said of most.
Do you think will still level me up?
Let's ask him, and I help him up to his feet.
Okay, and at this point, Ouroboros, if you would have cared to have been a part of this, you could sort of walk over there. Definitely, the entire iceberg moves with every step. You want to remain super big?
Nah, I'll get down.
All right, you come down to a more human size, like you're used to. Korax goes, "Hey, Ouroboros, great god of pain. Did you see that? You see me get in there like that?
I saw
Yeah,
it.
I saw you.
Do you think it's worth a little extra juice, maybe like a little level up, perhaps?"
I think he's earned it.
Alesia thinks I've earned it. I was very glorious. I was filling my oath, don't you think?
He smiles at him, puts his hands on his hips. Corvex, you have shown great glory on this day. Risking your life and limb to stand against a foe greater than any you have ever stood before. And I will bestow more of my power upon you.
Yes. And he will go to level 4 as a paladin, and he's super happy about that. He's like, yeah. He goes, all right, awesome. I mean, obviously I didn't do as good as you. Ouroboros, that was great. You entered the fight. You like hit that one ship and bounced off it, and you sucker punched him in the face. I couldn't believe it. The ball's on you, my friend.
I find that anything that has been cocky in the presence of the Demithots, it tends to go away with enough punches.
And you're like, he's not fully used to like being your disciple yet. He still sees you as like a friend. He comes over and like punches you in the arm a couple times. He's like, that's what I'm talking about. And oh man, that huge that thing you've got. And he just muses about the battle with you, and he like thinks he's like, this is going off about you. He thinks you're awesome. And you are going to, while he's sort of like, you can have like a moment where you feel like there's almost like someone at your side. There's no one there, but friend needs to go back. But you know that he was proud to fight at your side again.
Do my god eyes see him?
You know what? I will say they do. As you look to your left, you will see not the body or the face of Korax, but you'll see sort of this shining light. Not the shining light, it's sort of like this burning, like hellish light. And you know that to be the soul of Korax. You know that
Gyros,
goddammit. Yes,
Black haze.
the soul of Kyros who gave up his bliss in Elysium for a time to fight at your side and become a fiend to do so.
I look at the spirit of a lost friend, and with no words, Ouroboros will give a nod of acceptance and gratitude, silently acknowledging that being able to fight beside his friend again meant divinity to him.
Give him a nod, and you and Korax have been warriors for a long time together, and most of the time words don't need to pass between you, just you guys have that sort of telepathy that brothers or longtime lovers or parent to child might have, and you look at him with a little nod, and you know that he knows. And again, he said nothing, but you knew that he left heaven to fight by your side.
It doesn't get much deeper than that, I reckon.
He came to fight one last time at your side. And your godly eyes will see Helios appear beyond the sight of everybody else, but not to those of you with god eyes, and very quickly will appear and sort of coalesce the flaming spirit and put it into his bag and turn and look at you and give you a little nod, and then we'll dash off to re-deliver the soul back to his paradise.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can I ask a cool flavor question with that Ouroboros and Korax interaction?
Of course.
As
Talk about the Korax or
Korax
okay.
specifically, his paladin.
Yeah.
As Ouroboros kind of transfuses some power into his paladin, what is it like to see the god of pain empower one of his paladins?
You feel it? You feel
But
it?
then also, at this point, Silenos will go to the edge of the iceberg, and he'll yell out across the ocean, Athenians, bear witness to the strength of the gods, no longer Demithots. See
We're
the
full
god
thoughts
of
now.
pain. See the goddess of grace, her beauty, saving nymphs trapped. Bear witness to her strength, and he'll take 2 9th level holy weapon arrow shots. So just 2 beams of starlight will cross the sky. Watch as I, Silenos, the god of fellowship, lead you into battle time and time again. The strength of 1,000 hunters behind your bow. Hold on.
Keep it up, motherfucker.
yeah.
Come on.
The slash of 1,000 warriors. Feel the embrace of a lover as you go to triumphant victory at the flank of Greece's greatest allies. Bear witness. And he'll point to everything that we've just done, the interaction with Korax, and then Thalia flying, and
That was rad.
Hell yeah, you gesture back, Korax takes a bloody fist and raises it into the air. You shoot these 2 shots into the air that streak across the sky. Imagine Thalia's holy weapon looks like, like streaks of burning starlight, like meteors burning in the atmosphere. 2 flames lick up into the air, holy light. And all of the Athenians will, oh! Yes, Gyasi.
Muted.
Just a V for victory.
Ouroboros will shoot a storm spear as high up as he can and have that bitch.
Bolts of light.
yeah. I was gonna say, at that point, as they do that, Silenos will just raise his bow in the air and just go, scream
Yeah.
it.
And they will all raise their spears into the air. Ah, woo! Ah, woo! And just scream out in praise, take inspiration, Silenos. No check required. They all celebrate with great zeal this magnificent victory. Poseidon, Aphrodite, they do not upstage. They watch, they listen, and acknowledge that this is your victory, and they are happy to bear witness it. And in this moment, as the sun fully peaks over the horizon, all of that sort of intense, radiant, almost burningly so, like not warmth, but just like energy. Too much of it begins to subside, and the dawn goes from a hot red to a languid yellow across the sky, and for the first time in 10 years, a consistent, balming peace comes to the sun. And you expect the Empyrean, the High One, has been defeated. And with that, I think Poseidon will raise his trident and say, "Give praise to the Olympians for victory at sea and victory in the heavens!" To sort of go on with what Silenos was saying, and they continue their "Oh!" And you get the sense that Greece celebrates today the return to the solidarity of the sea, the tide becoming consistent once more, and the sun's balm being something that can be relied on rather than feared. And the Greek world will at large become a much more calm place. And there are only but 3 more great enemies for you all to defeat. Is there anything else you would all like to do here on this berg with the Athenian fleet? Is there anything else you'd like to do here in this moment?
I don't think so. I think I want to get back to the war map pretty soon, maybe. But he would before we decide to teleport or leave or whatever. Because we don't need the Athenians to go anywhere else, right?
No.
Okay. He'll kind of stand aside Silenos, and he'll call out with thaumaturgy. Enjoy your victory, for it is yours and that of Olympia. Drink your glasses to the bottom. Experience the revelry of victory. Go back home to Athens and tell them of this day. The day that Olympians and men fought for the greater good of the world. And we will continue on our conquest.
They celebrate, there's more banging of the shield, hollering and military celebration, and the undead of the Athenian will begin to sort of row, begin to turn the fleet in the direction back towards Athens, and take what surviving Athenians remain and bring them home. Were lost at sea, but such is the way of the sea.
Before potentially Korax leaves as well, I ask him, Korax, you're from Athens, correct?
Yeah, that's right. What are you doing after this?
Well, I may have to return with the others to Olympus, but
It only takes 10 minutes.
I'm from the lands of Gaia myself. I'm new to this world.
So,
I've never seen a city like yours before.
oh, yeah,
I would appreciate it if I had a guide when I returned there.
Oh yeah, I'll guide you. Yeah, I'll show you around. I'll show you the good taverna, and
I'll show you the way.
I'll show you a good time. Don't worry about it.
Sure. I ask him where I can find him and for directions to his house or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not hard to find. They know me around there, you know.
Okay. Look,
Keep
keep an eye on the
left on
comments.
Crapacto Street, and then you take a 4 miles.
I was gonna say, if Korax goes to toss Alesia a key, Silenos just catches it out of the air.
Throw Alicia what?
Oh, whoa! I was joking. I was saying a key, like when he asked how to
Oh,
find.
okay.
I was
villa?
just joking.
I don't think he's that into it. I don't think he's gonna throw her a key, but but he's like, yeah, no, no, I'm not hard to find, Come find me whenever you got some time,
I'll make my presence known in Athens.
Okay.
I'm a difficult woman to miss.
I know, with the beard and everything.
Feels like,
I assume Alicia is a little furry. She's
there's not a like. She has some hair, but it's not like a beard or anything. She's not like a bearded lady or something, dude.
I couldn't resist. But she has. Okay, fair enough.
Very hairy legs.
Besides, I shaved today.
Very hairy legs.
I shaved. Don't worry, I shaved. No, he doesn't say that. As you do not have a beard, you'll say, all right, well, yeah, no, I won't miss you. Don't worry. You're a very distinct woman.
I'll find you again, Korax.
All right.
Until then.
Until next time, remember, Korax, paladin of pain and glory, and yeah, see you there.
It feels like paladin of pain and glory.
Yeah.
I give him a wink before I walk away.
He's like gets onto whatever ship's going by, one of the trim right pick him up, and he's like, yeah, guys, you saw me out there, man? And he gets up
He's the life of the fucking party on that.
Oh yeah, this guy, they love him in Athens.
Heart full, head empty.
Yeah, he's a little bit like, are you okay? You're bleeding. And he's like, yeah, no, it's fine. He goes, no, I mean out your nose. Like, are you concussed? He's like, probably, man. Did you see that? And they begin to return to Athens. As the Athenian fleet begins to sail away, Poseidon will say, and what next? Is it time to take respite back on the mountain?
I would say yes.
Well, Aphrodite, you could take them with you. Atlantis, the seas need much of my attention. I have much work to do.
And before we do leave, I say, by the way, the kraken is loose. Just so you know.
Who is this?
Poseidon. This is Alesia. She is an ally and a friend.
I'm the Archdruid of the Circle of the Moon. It is an honor to meet you. And I give him a respectful bow and everything.
You're a druid.
Strange times makes for strange allies. Allies, Lord Poseidon.
What the fuck has happened on the mountains?
But Poseidon, well, a lot,
Ruins?
as you can see. But I will have it said that Alesia has been a valuable member, as well as her people. They mean to help us get rid of the Titans.
Looks at you, Alesia, and says, do you remember the name your people gave me when we went to war?
Let me look it up. I think I remember it. Oh, you gave it to me.
I'll wait. You tell me. Remember what it is.
What is that strange device in your hand?
Hold on.
Sorcery, surely.
I remember some of my people calling you the Earthshaker.
I don't know if that was what they called it.
That was one of the names I've heard.
I believe it was the Destroyer, if I'm not mistaken.
The Destroyer, then?
He goes, remember that. And he'll turn away and he will give a nod to the rest of you. He says, I have my seas because of the Demithots. It will not be forgotten. My realm is open to you. He will step up the side and descend back into the waters and vanish below, for there was much to do in the realm of the sea.
Alesia wasn't lying about the kraken, though, Uncle.
He's gone. You get the sense that's part of why he
Yeah.
will be very busy for the next little while. Aphrodite's like, well, that was tense. Should we go?
Please.
Okay.
Lead the way.
He looks at all the nymphs and she says, why don't you all go to Atlantis, like Thalia said, and if there's somewhere else you want to go, you can go later. And they go, okay. And they all like go to Thalia and they're like, bye, we just saw you. We just saw you, you're gonna go so soon, we're gonna miss you, oh my god. And they go over and they're gonna, all 50 of them or 40 of them or however many are, every single individual one's gonna be like, I'm gonna miss you. They all expect to have a little intimate moment with you.
I really hate goodbyes.
I hate goodbyes! And you step back with Aphrodite and the rest of the Demithots, and Aphrodite will be like, Boreas! And these arctic winds will coalesce around you and sweep you back up to the mountaintop from whence you came. And we'll go there now.
Da-da.
It's getting like pretty damn late, right?
It's early in the morning, so you guys are probably pretty tired. You sailed with them, like you had the whole day in Athens. You sailed out in the evening. You battled through the night, and then the sun rose. So you haven't slept at all.
Okay.
Let's get con saves for that. Who's feeling exhausted? Everybody roll a con save. DC 10.
Con save, DC 10.
I've got a +9, so.
Literally me too, and I rolled a nat 3. I almost failed.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You can't fail.
Unnatural 20.
Cool. As long as nobody rolls a 9 or lower, you're good.
31.
31. Sweet.
I'm happy to have a nap.
All right, understood. And I'm sure you all do. Like, you guys are.
I got to a 10, but I did roll a nat 1 to do it.
Yeah, so you're okay, but you're feeling it. You're all like on the border there. You return to Olympus. Let's cut through some of the logistical red tape here. You guys all return to Olympus, and there's praise and celebration. All of you can go ahead, and they're like, we'll say Hestia is there, and she says, hi, everybody. It's so good to see you. If anyone needs a snack, let me know. It's a lot of fighting over there, but you should all get some rest. I'm sure Zeus will want to call a big council meeting tomorrow, but the gods need to rest as well. Everyone needs their sleep. It's a very important part of a healthy diet. So everybody go to sleep, and in the morning, I'm sure you can all have your talks up in the throne room. Amenities have been made for everyone. Ouroboros, Ouroboros and Thalia, you know where you're going. Silenos, I can show you to your place. Katara, you have a place here as well. Let me just show you to your temples. But Alesia and Gyasi, you go to the bathhouse. And she just starts getting you all situated, making sure you're all taken care of. Is there anything you'd all like to do in this early morning before going to sleep?
Two quick things. One, I take whatever breakfast items she has and just gobble them down.
Oh yeah, they're like croissant. That's French. I don't know. It's bread. It's fucking bread. I don't know. You eat it.
Nice warm bread. Yeah.
Spanakopta.
Anacopta. Sure. Second thing, I'm gonna check in on Valerie, see how she's doing. I finish all the food before I go there. So
I'm gonna say that like you're not really able to. She's staying in Thalia's sort of temple space, and you're not really able to, like, you bang on the door a bunch, but she doesn't answer. She's not at the bathhouse. You don't know where she is.
Oh.
You find Ian Warren. He'll tell you like he hasn't been able to get in touch with her either. He doesn't really understand perfectly how all of the temples work, but he expects that they're like, she's in there and she's probably good. We'll check with Thalia tomorrow, is what he says.
Valerie, but yes. And I would ask Gyasi if he could. Final thing. Ask Gyasi if he could send a sending spell.
Yeah. Who do you
And
want to talk to?
ask Pan if later tonight he and I could have a chat somewhere.
Your daughter would like to talk to you tonight.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you make it happen. You hear like a sharp whistle, and you guys like look up to like whatever stairs is like ascending next. And you see Pan look down and he goes, "All right, to be seeing you tonight then, thanks for the message." Hi, good job doing your Oceanus-y things.
Hey.
Better you than me.
I give him an awkward wave. Hi.
He goes, hi. All right. I'm gonna go off do mischievous things now.
Okay.
And he'll run off.
Hate that guy.
Anybody else want to do some stuff? I'll wait until later to do the thing with Pan.
Yeah, Alicia, you go to bed. That's not gonna happen for a while. Thalia, I saw a nod from you. Is there anything you'd like to do before turning in?
Yeah, I wanted to go back to my temple and I guess try to find Valerie, but if she's not around, that's fine too.
She is. I need to see how she is doing actually. So she's doing. It could be doing worse. You go back there and she's kind of. Yeah, she's in your temple space and she's kind of decked the place out a little bit. It's like. Not on fire. She is. How to put it? How best to put it? Because you told her to like decorate for you, like to like keep her mind off of things. She's like, it's a lot of earthy tones. Like there's not a lot of whites or pinks or golds or anything that I think might be more towards Thalia's sort of thing. Very, there's a lot of earthy tones, and you get the sense that she was like trying to aim for you. So there's a couple of like, almost like gaudily expensive items placed around. You don't get the sense it's like insulting at all. It's just like, she has never really done this before. So you walk in, you're like, great. But it does look like you gave 14, it does look like you gave a 14-year-old who's decided yesterday they want to be like a fashionista. You gave them like $3,000 and let them go to town. It works, but it's probably not your style, and it's okay. It's a very okay decoration.
I would like to pretend that I love it.
Make me a deception check.
18.
She doesn't notice.
I love what you've done with the place. It's absolutely beautiful.
You see she's looking a little pale. You see she's like got some dark circles under her eyes. And she goes, "Oh, thanks. No, thank you. It's okay if you don't. I didn't know what I was doing. But I hope. But if you like it, that's great. I've never really decorated with. I've never even felt cloth before until like I met like you all. So I don't know.
Well, all things considered, I think you've done a lovely job.
Okay.
Very earthy.
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Look, if you redecorate, I'm not gonna be mad. I've never done this before, but if you like it, that's really great too. So.
Well, back in Athens, when I had my home, I redecorated it every season, so surely it'll change soon, but
Every season?
yes, as the action trends change, sure.
I put my house together when I was 14. I've moved things like every now and then.
Oh dear. And she'll like take her hand. It really is good to see you though. How have you been holding up?
She kind of like, there's definitely like we're like like she gets what you were inferring. And she goes, I'm great, as you can imagine. I went and did what you said, and I tried to go talk to your mother, but she wasn't there. I went and spoke to Psyche, I think her name was there.
Yeah, she's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah, she's really nice, the butterfly wings and all, very cute. Why is everyone so naked all the time? Like, I mean...
Well, that's the purest form and the most beautiful for some.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. Like, I mean, you know, we druids, we're not very particular, but it's just like a lot of nudity is all, you know. Like,
Well, you should give it a try. I like a tasteful leaf here and there, of course. I mean, you know, you've got to
Right.
keep it
a
conservative for
tasteful
you.
leaf here and there, right? Okay.
But it would suit you well.
Right. Right. Well, suits you well too, so maybe you should start.
And without question, she'll step out of her.
Like a Jim Carrey out of
Tony Stark out of his armor.
That's right.
Yeah. Just like emerges from over.
You're not even here.
She's like, yeah, maybe you should. Whoa, whoa! It's like almost too fast. And you guys can have a little fun if that is what you would like to do.
So, quick question about her curse. Was it when Oceanus was taken out that her curse would end, or when all the Titans were taken out?
All the Titans are taken out.
All of them?
All of them.
Damn.
When the war ends.
War.
I just realized she said a tasteful leaf.
Yeah.
A tasteful leaf.
Tasteful. That is pretty good.
Good job, though.
Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to check in on her and see how things were.
Okay.
Remember, she can't drink or eat, so that may complicate things.
Yeah, no, it doesn't complicate what is important to Thalia.
Forget.
Yeah. He's making a lewd joke, I think.
Oh, I get it now.
just so everyone watching
I'll
is
show myself out.
a dirty joke. Okay, why don't you make me a performance check at advantage, because of course it's going to be performance.
And for the record, Thalia's appetites are just
Or what?
Thalia's
Appetites are just fine.
Understood. Yep, that's true. I'm not surprised. Shut up.
30.
It's too, let me just put it this way: it's too bad Valerie
You're
won't
gonna
be
kill her.
afterward.
I truly don't know.
In fact, maybe at a certain point, you guys are going at it, and that sort of becomes realized, and you kind of like let Valerie play the like pillow princess sort of role.
She deserves it, yeah.
And you guys have, and you know, it's good for you, but it's really good for her with a 30. So you have advantage on charisma check. I think for a 30, we'll upgrade it to a d6. You have advantage on charisma checks against Valerie for the next 5 days.
Nice.
Yep. And yeah, you guys sort of go to bed. I imagine there's a little spooning action going on there. Yeah. Anyway, is there anybody else who has stuff they want to do before turning in? Okay then.
I think
we'll-
Ouroboros would just like go into his room and just kind of, I don't know, just sit there.
Okay. You sit down. You look around the sort of land space. You haven't really given much thought to how you would like it. I don't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
as you sit there and you sort of peer around your space, do you think you would wish for it to look differently? Would you sort of will a different appearance upon this empty interior?
I think he would will into existence a most extravagant bed.
Hell yeah. This big, beautiful, four-postered, king-size, of course king-size for Ouroboros, king-size bed, maybe double the size of a king-size bed because you're such a big guy.
Alaskan king. Yeah.
It's an Athens king.
Oh.
Yeah. It's an Athens king, that's right. Emerges sort of like in the center of the room with comfortable sheets and feather pillows.
Hmm. Excellent. Second question.
Yeah.
As far as pain points go, and
Yeah.
Ouroboros' understanding of pain points, if he were to inflict pain upon himself and then sleep through it, would he be at full?
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay.
So I believe, as it states, your pain points go away when you complete a rest of any kind.
Right. Okay. Or into rage.
You can inflict, as it's often the barbarian quandary for everything. No, inflicting pain on yourself cannot prolong rage or inflict pain points, or it's got to be pain from your enemies.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. This isn't like a masochist situation where you're.
I was thinking about, dude, like I was in my mind just now, like, would it be like acceptable for self-flagellation to be a fucking thing of his followers? I don't know.
Followers. But
He's so fucked up.
I know. So
Yeah, I know, but it makes sense, right? I mean, I don't know.
I think the idea of your deityship as the god of pain isn't like weird like Catholic extremism where they're like lashing themselves for sin and
Yeah.
whatever. It's more about inflicting pain on your enemies and like bringing pain to your enemies and alleviating pain from your friends. So it's really about like mercy for your allies and defeat for your enemies is more toward what it means.
Okay.
Rather than just like the actual essence of hurt.
Mm.
Oh, get up
Okay.
for followers. That would be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, or bro, we'll see, man. Hey, when we complete this game, there's going to be an epilogue. Maybe we'll see what kind of followers Ouroboros has for himself.
Maybe. But Ouroboros will just lay in probably the greatest bed that he's ever slept in. And I think he'll just be thinking about his life up to this point. Or beyond life, I guess. I don't know.
Your life is immortal, where you have had many struggles placed upon you from a young age. You were raised in a peaceful way and
Got picked on by Thalia
yeah.
for being a slave. Yeah.
That
You
was
know,
so dramatic.
all the traumas of your life, being a slave, being abandoned in the north, having to deal with Thalia, all of the greatest traumas of your life.
He starts crying when he thinks about the Thalia part.
Yeah. The getting clobbered by monsters and abandoned by your father and
Then he smiles at that part.
yeah. And that part's like, I made it through that all right, but the one thing, the most consistent trauma of your life is dealing with Thalia, and that's not even she makes the god of pain cry. Just the sheer thought of her. But and then you think of all of your accomplishments, all of the many creatures you defeated. You fought alongside your friend Silenos to defeat the Hydra. You have fought the Kraken. Well, you fought alongside the Kraken. Strangely enough, you have fought Titans and brought them down. You've made allies of dwarves, of elves, of Amazons. You have probably bred a new civilization, a new chapter to the Amazonian culture into existence. You've led armies, become the king of giants, become a god. You've accomplished much in your life, much more than any mortal could think to accomplish. Even one of those feats is enough to call a life worth lived.
and he'll fall off into a blissful slumber, and then be woken up in the middle of the night, thinking about how Thalia called him a slave, piece of trash. Cold sweat.
Yeah, awaken in a cold sweat to the idea of not the only person in the world who's awoken in the night to a cold sweat to the idea of Thalia. Just yours has been a little bit more terrified.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Is there anybody else who has anything to do before we call the night to a close? If you're talking Katara, you're muted. Just, you know.
She's probably been saying stuff this whole time.
Maybe.
She's just telling secrets. We just can't hear because she's.
I was
on
literally
secret.
just thinking that.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking! I'm gonna throw this other thing away.
How long have you been trying to talk to us and thinking that we've been?
I've said a couple. For the most part, I've been on mute, so it's fine. But the one headset took over like halfway through, so I lost like everybody.
Oh.
So
No.
I was like, I was like trying to like disconnect from that so I could hear everybody, but I didn't realize no one could hear me. So.
Gotcha. Man, that kills me when I'm like, I don't know my mic's muted and I'm trying to talk and people just like interrupt me mid-sentence. I'm like, I start losing it and I'm like,
Get out! Get the fuck out!
Anyway, Katara, what would you like to do?
I was just gonna say if she can, I'm assuming we are taking the Skyphios with us when we leave. But I left like 5,000 gold worth of like medicinal herbs on that ship. I'd like to bring that with me to wherever I'm supposed to go, so I can maybe make potions at some point.
Got it. We will say that I need to pick one out for you up here on the mountain, but you will have a place for you to stay in. I'll probably just kick out. Who's over here? There's two people over here I might kick out. Oh, that's Taiki. Yeah, let's kick her out. Sorry, Taiki. Get fucked.
Taiki.
You can stay here.
Who was Taiki the Gado?
Gossip Luck.
Oh yeah, we don't need that.
She's around. Like, she has her own place. I'm just not going to rebuild Olympus for 5 extra temples right now.
I got you.
But anyway, yeah, you go in there, and similarly, it's kind of a grand gilded place. Maybe it's not really your style. Maybe it is. But you go there, and you can sort of dump out all of these medicinal herbs that definitely haven't gone bad.
I hope not. Yeah, when she will, because she doesn't know if she can do it, but she will try to change the space. She thinks it's going to be kind of fun to, when you open the door, it's kind of like you're stepping into the creepy ass fucking woods.
Oh, very.
And like you step into like basically fog with like kind of marshy environment, and then in the back there's like she'll have on the side potions. That's what her hope is potions and like a kind of library, but in the very far back is, you know, like Maleficent's throne.
Yeah.
From that movie. She wants like that like treed throne at the back.
Got it. Yeah, you turn the interior very uniquely to the Greek gods, as all of them have like, you know, they're basically like the temple space but decorated. Yours is like almost another plane of existence where it's a swampy, misty marsh where like frogs and various swamp birds sort of caw and croak. And built into the side of the trees in the marsh are like weird kind of bookshelves and alchemy stations and chests, and then this crazy wicked throne at the back. It's very unique.
And then I don't think she'll be able to do any potion making, but she just wanted to bring stuff here. And then sort of have the pans there ready if she needs to attune to it. And then yeah, she'll probably sit on her throne and take a rest.
Got it. Take a rest. Yeah, you sit on your throne, you just kind of like sit there stationary and just daze into thought and go to rest there. Very, very stoic of you. Okay. With that, everybody gets a long rest. You may click the button. Nobody had exhaustion, but if you did, you would have been healed a bit. And as you rose, Hestia will greet you all in your various spaces. You'll have guests, those of you who are acknowledged gods. And the guest will be Hestia, and she will say, they're assembling to celebrate the great victory this afternoon over the two titans. There's only 3 remaining. It's so wonderful. I believe they would love to have your attendance, so please attend. She'll go to each of you and tell all of you that. She says, I'll see you there. I brought you some breakfast. Well, actually, it's lunchtime, so I brought you some gyro. Some gyro, you know. Anyway, bye. And she'll... Yeah. She'll like,
Shawarma.
One of those, she comes out with a fucking stick. And she'll feed you all gyro.
Never had this before, Hestia. Thanks a lot.
I'm glad you like it. You're glad you like it. And you guys can all attend the ceremony up top if you wish, a great celebration of another victory for Olympus. The war is coming to a close soon enough. There are only 3 players left on the field of the Titans, and no more. Not including, of course, all of the zealotous, crazy followers down the mortal world, but they're not important.
We can handle them easily.
I would really like to find one of these Cult of the Titan encampments.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
yeah.
you'll have your opportunity, I promise.
Okay.
So you all arrive there, the Demithots, all up in the stands. Pan, Eros, the various, what is it called? It's not, the retinue of Zeus, Bia, Nike, Kratos, and Zeus, Hermes, Asclepius, Tyche, they're all there hollering and celebrating. The various gods are there as well. Poseidon even arrived, despite all of the work he has to do, as does Apollo. I will say that you guys kind of arrive here in the eve where the sun has gone down, and Apollo arrives as well with great celebration and relief and excitement. It's very informal at first, but in the end, Zeus raises his hand. All comes to calm. And he will say, well done. Once more another victory. We shall drink and feast in celebration, of course. But I believe there is something that must be dealt with. Something that 2, if not 3, of the gods wish to speak on before we commence with the celebrations. He says, our most primary victors, the ones who have led this war like the tip of the spear, the Demithots, step forward. And again, the gods themselves celebrate your approach. Yeah! As you guys all make your way forth. Okay. Zeus will look around the room, and he will say, Apollo, Poseidon, which of you will speak first? And Apollo will stand readily, and he will say, I will speak first. And there's a large celebration once more, and he will step down from his throne and before all of you. And he's going to say, the sky has been rife with the turmoil of Helios. His radiance, his power is mighty, mightier even than I. If I did not have the chariot, such a stalemate might not have been established. But it has been a long time since he has been pulled down from the skies, and it is rife with his power. And that power needed to go somewhere. And so, I have been working with my brother, Hephaestus. We have taken the power of Helios. We have pulled it from the sky down to this very mountain, And with the craftsmanship of my brother, we have brought it all together, culminated into a single pointed piece of power, a relic that will only hold fast for so long. But so long as this war endures, someone should wield it. And who better than the newest gods of Olympus? And he is going to look to his brother Hephaestus, who is going to come over and unveil this gorgeous spear. I need to tell you about it, because it's pretty cool. Half a moment while I pull it up.
Nah, we don't want to know, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, we'll keep it.
Let us know, let us know, let us know.
No, it's fine, we'll keep it. Let's see here. I'm actually just gonna send you guys a picture because it's pretty cool. Please look in the Facebook chat if you want to see the spear that is presented.
Looking. Ooh.
Wow.
As he brings it out of, like, unveils it, the entire room illuminates as if the sun itself, a shard of the sun itself, was brought into this very room, and it's almost blinding at first. And then your eyes adjust, especially you who are gods. Apollo.
I can't see
It's
anything.
almost too much for you to look at, Alesia, with your mortal eyes. Like you can't even like fully look on it for more than like 2 or 3 seconds, and even then it burns. You guys look upon this spear that has built into it the stars, the astral power of the sky, the very rays of the sun, the spirit of the heat of the day is unveiled before you. And Apollo says, I present this, the spear of the High One is what we shall call it henceforth. It will only endure for about a year. But in that year, we would wish this conflict complete. So, I ask all of you, for it has been built in my grace, Apollo, the god of the sky, of music, of all these things, is there one amongst you who would bear this spear? Or better yet, count yourself among my followers. Count yourself worshipper of the sun, of music, of any of these things.
I look at the others. I think I whisper to the others. Well, it was good for the sun. Lights and brightness. Thalia, Ouroboros, you come to mind. Silenos, you as well, and maybe even Gyasi. Katara, the sun isn't really your thing.
So everyone except Katara is what I'm hearing over there.
Just based on vibes, whatever you want to do. The sun does make shadows, though.
I'm very mediocre at the Santorin.
What?
What was
What
that?
did you say?
Say it again.
I'm very mediocre at the Santorin. It's an instrument.
Oh.
I'm very...
Can a god be a follower of another god?
Yeah. I think you are all new enough to Olympus that would be generally accepted. Like, Thalia, for example, has been a very staunch follower of Olympus and Aphrodite. I think she'd be still considered like a worshipper of Aphrodite in some respect. And so yeah, some of you as gods might decide like, no, like I don't worship, I am to be worshipped, and that's fine. But he didn't ask, like, he said better yet, a worshipper of myself, the sun, and all I represent. But anyone could bear the spear, as long as, of course, you can't, like, attune to a spear.
Next
what's a
question.
spear? It's like a martial weapon?
No,
It's a
simple weapon.
simple one.
Hmm.
As far as damn it, I forgot what I was gonna ask.
Damn it, Bobby!
Well, how does it work?
Because
The spear.
when you wield it, you must bind with it as you would many other magic items. And it will function for any who bear it properly. But the more allegiance you have to the sun, the more that you show piety to my realm, the more powerful it will become for you. The more you worship the sun and respect its rays, the more powerful the spear will be for you.
I remember my question. Where is Apollo on the family tree? In comparison to me?
Apollo is the twin of Artemis, and he was born with her to the goddess Leto, who slept with Zeus. So he's the son of Zeus, but he is not the son of Hera.
He's your big brother, basically. Half brother, but
He's his brother.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like adult, yeah, I guess older brother, but yeah, he's your brother. Half brother. But whatever.
I know I could wield the fuck out of a spear. Probably better than most.
He says, would you like to wield the fuck out of this one?
Well, now that you're asking like that, how can I refuse? Come on!
He goes, I'll throw something! And you and Apollo like have a moment. And he goes, but Ouroboros, I must remind and warn you, this spear is of great power and will serve you well in any form. But remember, the more homage, the more piety, the more respect you pay me and my domains, the more powerful the spear will become for you. Do you understand?
I do understand.
Then take this, the spear of the higher one, and wield even but a fraction of Hyperion's power, and he will bear this gorgeous spear to you. And
I'll take it.
And as you do, you'll feel it flow within your hand. You'll feel its heat within your hand. Almost too much to hold, but not for the god of pain. And you will need to take time to attune to it, but you may add the spear of the higher one to your inventory.
Spear of the higher one. It's a dope ass name.
I want to know what it does.
It fucks shit up.
It fucks shit up is what it does.
Granted.
It's cool.
You're looking at its properties?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty.
No, don't look at it.
I will say what you had just said about like I was thinking about the arts and stuff like that, and I was like, oh yeah, Thalia's a bard too, right? Or is she part? She took a thing in bard.
She's fucking something. I'll tell you that.
I fucked around with bard for a little bit, and then
Okay.
and it wasn't for me.
Okay.
Much, I leaned into cleric instead. Okay, that's
To be
cool.
fair, we're kind of edgy for the sun as a party. But hey, man.
I literally just turned my temple into like shadowy fog, so I was like, I can't.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, I'm darkness, but turned to light, but I don't know. My mom's Artemis.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but Katara, remember, the sun creates shadows.
Sun doesn't create shadows. The sun.
I think the sun creates light. I think perspective creates shadows.
Reaction.
Fine.
Do you want me to speak of its current properties so everyone can feel jealous of you, Ouroboros?
Nope, don't look at it. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already are.
Okay.
Yeah, we already are.
I hate all of you.
Sorry, not sorry.
Y'all brought me fucking back. I said don't look for me. I came anyway.
I will respect your wishes, Ouroboros.
Yeah.
No.
okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I took a peek, but no, it's cooler with surprise.
Nah, it's too late. The mystery's
Spear of
left.
the higher one. Artifact requires entombment. Contains the power of Hyperion contained within a spear by Apollo and Hephaestus. +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls. It also gains an extra 2d8 radiant damage on a hit. Sure. The more you worship Apollo, the sun, and all he represents, the more piety you will gain, and thus the more power the spear will have. At first level of piety, 15 temporary hit points. At second level piety, a randomly determined minor beneficial property from the artifact list. Number 3, you get another minor beneficial property, and for the final piety level, a major beneficial property. It is luminous. The spear sheds a bright light of 30-foot radius, dim light, and a 30-foot bright light. The light is sunlight. Vampires, beware.
Damn.
Sun's radiation. If you take damage from a creature within 5 feet of you, you can use a reaction to make a melee attack with the spear against that creature. And on a hit, the spear deals damage as normal and blinds the creature until the start of its next turn.
Yeah, that is dope as fuck. No save or anything.
Can only be once per dawn. It has a number of spells in it. You have 10 charges which will recharge daily at dawn, d6 plus 4. You gain the following with a DC 18. Guiding Bolt, 1 charge. Daylight, 3 charges but can only be ignited at the tip of the spear. And lastly, you get Sunbeam for 6 charges. It can only be destroyed by basically falling in on itself after 1 year, or if Hyperion himself touches it.
So don't let him touch it.
Don't touch it. Next. We're not done.
Ooh.
Next. Poseidon steps forth. He says, "The oceans have been returned to me. I am freed from Atlantis, and the sea requires much maintenance. I have much to do, but I thought it worthy enough that I would come here and bear forth a similar relic. The powers of Oceanus have tainted my seas for too long, and so, with the help indeed of my nephew, I have pulled forth the power of Oceanus from the seas and contained it within a single relic, not unlike my trident." And he will nod to
Hephaestus?
yeah, he'll, sorry, I just have a lot of things going on. He'll nod to Hephaestus, who will reveal their creation, definitely their creation, not mostly Hephaestus's. A gorgeous trident that is, a gorgeous bident that sort of washes through its starlights, but in sort of a wave-like form, as if there is the seas itself contained within this bident. I will send a picture.
Ooh.
He says, "I present the bident of the tactless depths. For this, I would wish one of you to wield." Don't look at the properties before it's presented. He will say, "Indeed, there is great power within it, and much like the spear, those that worship me, the seas, the destructions that I reap upon the world, will garner it greater power. Now, anyone can wield this, but a follower of my domain may wield it stronger. And with that in mind," and he'll look to you, Gyasi, "you have sailed my seas long, Captain Gyasi. You have performed great feats upon the bow of many ships. You have faced down Oceanus himself and rammed a ship up his ass."
That was inspired.
Indeed.
Thank you.
"Any could wield this, and I leave it to the decision of your group, but it would bring me and my domain great honor if a captain of your skill might wield this, for I have instilled and ensured it enough finesse that one of your skill set could utilize it.
Oh, it sounds like it's gotta go to Gyasi.
Would you command the power of the seas, of Oceanus himself?" And he sort of bears the bident forth.
In your name. Yes.
He hands it to you, and he holds on to it for a second. He's like, "You feel that, bro? You feel that? You feeling this right now?" And he hands it to you, and you may add to your inventory the bident of the tactless sea. I will share with you all its properties now, if you care. Indeed, it bears within it the power of Oceanus. This two-pronged weapon is the bident of the deep. It thrums with the icy currents of the deep oceans, and functions as a +3 trident with the finesse property. It also has a 2d10 cold damage on it every time you hit with it.
Nice.
If you show piety to Poseidon, you will gain the following benefits. You can breathe underwater and gain a swimming speed of 60 feet. You will gain one randomly determined minor beneficial property. And lastly, you'll gain one randomly determined major beneficial property at the highest level of piety. For you, Gyasi, I think you know what? I think you're absolutely at a certain one of these piety levels. I don't think you're at the maximum level, but I think you're at the first or second. What do you think, Gyasi? How much piety do you think Gyasi has for Poseidon in the sea and the oceans?
He spent his entire life tied to the ocean. That's where his real home is, and always has been. I specifically took the tidal wave spell because that was within that domain. Out of all of the gods on Olympus, I think the one that Gyasi would take a knee for is Poseidon.
Okay.
Because the oceans forced that separation, forced those boundaries.
Absolutely. So with that said, let's put you at the second piety level. You'll have the underwater breathing and 60-foot swim speed, and when you attune to it, we will figure out your minor beneficial property. Let's see here. I think I might have lost one of those piety. I think you're going to get 2 minor beneficial properties, but we'll deal with that in time. You also have command the deep. While you hold the bident, you can command the waves and its creatures. As an action, you can change the conditions of the sea within 1 mile of you, creating strong winds and heavy rain that cause vicious waves. There is a weather at sea section of the DMG that can help determine this. You don't need to worry about that. I'll worry about that. You can also calm a storm if you wish. In either case, the unnatural weather lasts for 1 hour before returning to normal, and once used, this property, the bident, can't be used again until the next dusk. Additionally, when you cast Dominate Monster spell of a DC 18 from the bident, you can only cast on beasts or monstrosities that have an innate swimming speed. Once used, the property can't be used again until the next dusk. You also have Aquatic Metamorphosis. You can cast a True Polymorph spell, save DC 18 from the bident, but you must cast it on a creature to turn it into a kind of creature that has an innate swim speed. Once used, the property of the bident can't be used again until the next dusk. Lastly, destroying the bident can only be done by the touch of Oceanus, or after 1 year has passed and the bident sort of falls in on itself and destroys itself.
That's cool.
Damn. Fucking Aquaman.
Fucking sun boy. Incredible. And with that, those weapons have been born. Hephaestus says, "Oh yeah, and like if when we defeat the other Titans, like I want to do stuff with that too. That could be really exciting. If it just sounds especially cool, like I imagine, like I almost had an idea for like this like cool whip because like you know he's like the taskmaster like yeah, and Zeus is like okay Hephaestus, okay, yeah. All right, enough. Thalia, right on top of it. And he's like, oh, right, yeah, sorry. And they will return to their seats and says, and so victory is had. We must seek out Hephaestus, Atlas, and Kronos, and when we find them, we will return them to where they came. But for now, we shall celebrate, and the great scouting of these cowards who have run to hide will begin. Let us celebrate, and let us celebrate long and languidly. And everyone will, yeah, a little applause and celebration for what is to come. So, we are going to go to some stuff. It is going to take a while to get any leads or for the next big event to happen. It's going to take a couple months, in fact. Atlas and Kronos go to grounds. Hephaestus has been missing for the entirety of the war. It's going to take a while to seek out them as they lay low and gather their new plans, and no doubt time is not on your side. So it will take some time to begin to look around, try and find them. Indeed. Okay. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to our break rather early, and that's because I want everyone to take some time during the break and think about what they'd like to do with themselves. As gods, would you like to garner support towards your power, your worship in the mortal world? Do you want to start shaping things? You know, there's much to be decided, much to think about what you would like to do with yourselves these 6 months. Help the hunt, help rebuild. We'll figure it out. But let's go to an early break, and when we come back, you may all decide what you wish to do, and we'll also determine Gyasi and Ouroboros' properties to their artifacts. So let's have our break. We'll be back whenever everyone comes back, about 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sounds good to me.
So,
Did you say 10 or 20 minutes?
Yeah, whenever everyone gets back.
oh, okay. Uranus is the grandfather.
Yeah, Gaia produced Uranus. Uranus and Gaia got married, and that's why they call her Mother Earth, because then she birthed pretty much everything else that followed, which was all the other primordials, all the Titans together, pretty much. And then Kronos and Rhea gave birth to the gods.
There we go. So Uranus wasn't a Titan then, he was just some sort of primordial deity.
Yeah, he was the primordial entity of the sky.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Kronos and his evil brothers
You're like
tore him
12
apart.
Kitty.
So they tore him apart, and that's where Aphrodite was born, when his big old peen went into the sea.
Right. Seafoam.
Yeah, he got one of his nuts sliced, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Castrated. Okay. Yeah, then they flung him up into the sky, and that's why he is the god of the sky. And they say if Uranus and Gaia were ever to meet again, it would be the end of all things.
That's why we haven't met him yet.
Yeah, so that's why Gaia is asleep and we don't see Uranus, because Gaia is asleep, and Uranus has been torn apart and created the sky.
Right.
Okay, we are back in action. As I had said before, we are going to go to a little downtime, so to speak. So we have this big party. You could do stuff during the party. I don't want to take the rest of the session to do all of this, but still feel free to take some time, and I'll be sure to manage. I will put something out there that I've been putting out to the other groups. I like to try and inspire team unity during downtime and singular events by providing inspiration to people who largely include other party members during that time, to bring the story together so we're not playing 5 different stories or 6 different stories. Not all the time, only when I think it's good, just so it's not abused or anything like that. Okay, so downtime. You all have about 6 months of stuff to do. The gods have basically been sent to go try and find the other Titans. What do all of you do?
I've got some bullet points.
All right, I'll start with you, Ouroboros. Speaking of which, shall we deal with your detriments? Or actually, let me ask you this, Ouroboros, to be fair. How much of a worshipper of Apollo or any of his domains has Ouroboros been in his life?
Can you give me his domains again? He has so many.
Yeah, it's okay. Apollo is the god of prophecy, of music, of masculine beauty, of sun, of archery, and I think there's a couple more, but those are the big ones.
I would say Ouroboros, he likes parties, usually. He hasn't been too devout with Apollo. I would say. But as far as like masculine beauty, I mean,
Look at all this.
you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
So not really. Like you acknowledge him as a part of Olympus, but you're not like praying to him or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's get your things out of the way. You, my friend, are going to have, since you are not a worshiper, you are going to have one minor and one major detrimental property.
Detrimental?
Detrimental property.
It doesn't say that on the sheet.
Yeah, it does. Look at the end of the piety thing. It says if you aren't a worshiper of Apollo, the spear has one minor detrimental property and one major detrimental property, both randomly determined.
My shit has 2 randomly determined major properties. Detrimental.
You want major detriments?
You wrote it down, bro.
Let me go look at it. Hang on. Sorry.
I'm getting fucked, is what I'm hearing.
That's-
Per use.
Oh my god. Very clearly said. He was like, very clearly, without a worshiper, it'll be more difficult to do. You're a worshiper of Apollo's spear has 2 randomly determined major detrimental properties. I'll make one minor, one major. That was probably that was a typo on my part.
So you're fucking me, just not
It's not as bad, yeah.
right.
Yeah, so just a little bit.
Gotta have it just a little bit.
Alright then. Just gonna put her in. I just want to update what it actually says.
I customized and added the +3 to hit and +3 damage because it didn't look like it was in there.
I'm sure. I'll go look at that too.
Oh no, I got it. It's fine.
Let me see here.
I swear to God, I'm not even joking.
It's in there, man. It's in there. I'll go look at your sheet.
I see it. I see it.
All right. So roll me a D100 for your minor detrimental property.
I shall, Lord of all things, Ryan Dalterson.
That's right.
All right. I'm rolling physical.
Cool.
Shakayate. 700. No. What is that? 7? 007?
Yep. While attuned to this artifact, you have disadvantage on saving throws against spells.
That sucks.
Sucks.
I basically have disadvantage anyway.
So there you go. It's not that bad. So write that down somewhere. I will send it in the Zoom chat in case you need a reminder. Bang. Now roll me a D100 for the major detrimental property.
That was the minor one?
That was a minor one. That wasn't that bad. I rolled like as low as you.
I'll be the judge of that, Ryan.
All right.
If he rolls around 100, does he just like blow up?
No, 100's fun. 100's fun.
All right,
no.
ready?
Oh.
Shikayate. A 12?
Damn.
Low rolls.
Yeah, it's the 10 and the 2.
This is very cool. So when you attune to it, Ouroboros, the spear basically casts Geisha on you. And it's going to give you a quest determined by me.
That's cool.
Spear, let's think. The spear is a relic of the sun. It isn't Helios, it is a fraction of his power. And this is about Apollo. I'm going to say...
I mean, it would be cool if Hyperion was like telling me shit. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm going to say the spear compels you to complete a quest, and that quest is going to be to... I'll pick something that you'll probably like. It compels you to go down to the underworld and to wrestle Python, the original enemy of Apollo, into submission in his name.
Oh shit. In whose name?
In Apollo's name. In worship of him, in dedication to him, you will face his original enemy and wrestle it into submission.
That shouldn't be too hard.
It shouldn't be, actually. Okay, we're gonna make this real easy. I assume you go to do this?
Yes.
So this is gonna represent the first month of your downtime, as you disappear for a month into the underworld.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
Still have 5 months, you'll be good.
Oh, that actually works out crazy enough. I have 5 bullet points.
All right, perfect. So you go down in the underworld, you find Python, this gargantuan, monstrous serpent. I am gonna go grab a stat block for Python, and you're gonna wrestle it. How's that sound? You like that?
Sounds pretty great, man.
See, I give and I take, you know? I'm not too, I try not to be too mean.
Mostly take, though.
Yeah. You better believe it's gargantuan in size, because that's cool.
Gargantuan? Ah.
Gotta be. All right, let's see what we got. We need a snake. I need a schnick. Okay, I got a pretty cool one. It like the epitome of evil snake. So, you show up in the underworld. Let me get out my snake to show it all. Snake, bang, boom, 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 boom. Looks down at you, very evil snake, and it's going to attack you. We're gonna make this very simple. It's gonna be a series of athletics checks. You go, you Super Saiyan yourself into giant size so that you can grapple with it. I want you to do an athletics check versus its athletics check.
You got it. At advantage.
At advantage because you're raging, that's right.
Oh. Not great. 21.
21 is a failure. You're trying to grapple it, you're wrestling with it, it gets one over on you. It is going to attack you. What's your AC?
20.
20. It hits you and wraps its tail around you, restraining, constricting you. You're like, as it's like crushing your godly body. Make me another athletics check, you'll have advantage.
How does 36 do?
You smash through and off of the snake and free yourself. It's going to take another shot at you at the end of your turn. It is going to miss. Go ahead and make me another athletics check to try and wrestle it to the ground. $32.
Yeah, how does a 32 do?
You grab onto it, you
Read my
wrestle
notes.
it to the ground, it's wrapping itself around you, but you've got it by the head. It's going to try and break free. It fails, don't even bother rolling for it. Roll one more time, and if you succeed, you will have wrestled it to submission.
Nice.
How does a 33 do?
A 33 does great. You jump on top of it, it's wrapped itself around your body, but you've like got it in a headlock. You're like, submit! And the snake eventually submits itself to you and sort of falls within your grasp, falls unconscious within your grasp, and you like throw it down to the ground, this spiritual snake. You walk over to the spear and draw it back out from the ground and raise it over your head. And in this moment, as you have wrestled Python to the ground, you will be considered first level piety for Apollo.
Okay.
Your detriments will be wiped away, and you are going to gain its first piety level, which means you'll gain 15 temporary hit points at each dawn.
All right.
Now, what else do you want to do as you spend the last 10-ish days making your way back to the surface world, evading the eyes of Hades?
While I'm down there, just on my way out,
Oh, sure.
could I try to, you know, have a little dip into the river Styx, maybe?
You fucker. Oh, man. You can. And as a god, you jump in there and make me a wisdom saving throw.
Good thing I don't have this as
Yeah, it is. It really is.
inspiration. Yeah, 27.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my. You dive in and you feel this like really tingly, like brain melty feeling, but you resist it. You feel like you just did like a lot of weed right to your face, and you're like feeling a little brain numb. But
Okay.
other than that, you're okay, and you kind of just like hang out, and you're good. Unfortunately, you are a god and not a demigod, and you cannot acquire the powers of Achilles because you already have them. You have what Achilles would have got was that immortality feat.
Mm-hmm.
You already possess it. You already are immortal.
So he'll get out. He'll just kind of frown. He'll be like, that shit was weak, and then he'll get out of the underworld.
Damn, I didn't get the light immortality version. Whatever. And you hop out. Okay, what other 5 points do you have? Let's get her down.
All right. So first point. Gain a following of the giants. Become god of giants.
Fucking right, baby. Let's make that real easy. The first thing you will note when you sort of look in on the giants is that your mother has anointed one of the cloud giants, one of the cloud giant men. In fact, I think it would be, one of the more superior cloud giant men, and turned him into a storm giant and taken him as her mate, and is going to begin producing storm giants. I want you. How do you think Ouroboros goes about trying to bring the giants to your divinity? Is it perform like a feat of strength? Do you bring them like a gift? Do you just try and straight up riz them into it? What do you do?
I think he would come back, and I think he would let them know that even though his regency is over, he has grown beyond that. He has grown to something that they can aspire to, something that they can look for in their struggles on this world. Someone who can bring pain to those that have dealt pain to them.
Okay. Okay, so you go to them and you basically like try and persuade them.
I think so.
I want you to make me a persuasion check. Yeah, let's call it a persuasion check.
Okay. It's in the dice. Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. How long do you spend doing this? Like how much time do you put into it?
About a month. And I'll fight anybody they put in front of me.
Make me an athletics check. Well, before you do that, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you fight anyone they put in front of you, or do you, like, make an example of some people?
Oh yeah, knowing the way these motherfuckers operate, they don't listen to the feeding hand. You know what I'm saying? They listen to a backhand, front hand situation and a closed fist. And so I'll definitely make an example out of anyone that I deem to be unwilling or non-pious.
Got it. I want that. the historians will quote the god of pain. These people only respond in like a front hand, backhand situation, you know? I want you to make me an athletics check, and I'm going to put that in front of another athletics check. Okay.
34. Because I'll be raged and huge the whole time.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're good. I'm just going to get there. Oh, 32. I severely doubt they will have anything against you. Wait for that. Okay, none of you all. None of the Scions, not the Tempest herself, not the Destiny. What the fuck is this thing? But for decades, no Cyclops and other command obedience of red clowns. As the raging fire of the gurgling people to their bellies and amazingly. This absolute massive hill giant, like an aberration of the species, this fucking monster steps forward, who is going to be like the champion of their people. Looks almost like a minotaur, kind of, but is just like equal parts strong and fat. And he rolls a 23, which is not enough. And you like, he's like, "Ugh!" No one's gonna get this reference, I don't say it. He goes, "Ugh!" And you just like grab his face and like bound through the air into the next mountain and smash him through and into the mountain like Omni-Man. And the guy doesn't stand a fucking chance as you beat him into utter submission. I want you to make an intimidation check, and this is going to function as advantage with your persuasion. Whichever is higher, you will get.
Okay.
I will allow you to use your strength modifier for the intimidation check if you wish.
What the fuck?
Which would grant you advantage per rating.
I rolled a nat 1 on that one.
Okay. You have advantage, like I said.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm sorry, did you say intimidation or persuasion?
Intimidation, but you'll use your strength modifier, which is why I'm giving you advantage, because you're a barbarian.
Got it. Okay, okay. That'll be... a... That'll be 19.
19. 19. So 20. We will use the persuasion as the higher of the two. Mm-hmm. I will say you gain the support of your mother. You gain the support of the Council of Giants, the representatives of each species. Okay. And in large, like a lot of giants, none are like directly opposed to you, but there's still like an uncertainty. But within a month, these like really hard-headed, very anti-god individuals with the support of your mother and the ruling council, you get like a little more than half of them all on your side.
Okay, cool.
So you start making the dent in their faith, absolutely.
Yeah. How many followers would you say I have at this stage of the game?
I'm not going to give you an exact number because that's ridiculous. You have Athenians on your side and you have giants on your side. You got a couple hundred.
Okay, cool. Is that more than Thalia?
It's a really good start. You've been a god for like less than 6 months and you've already got like maybe like 200-300 followers, like staunch followers.
How many followers does Thalia have on Godstagram?
Well, we will have to look in on Thalia to know where she's at.
Okay.
Start of all of this, she's making a dent in the drow people. She's got a large number of nymphs who will spread the faith. A large number of Athenians. She's doing a little better than you. Or I'd say about the same at this edge. But she might be doing better than you when we see what her deal is.
I would completely believe if she was blowing me out of the fucking water. So that's pretty good.
Well, she's about where you're at now without too much difficulty of trying. So
yeah, I've got to do fucking godly feats and shit.
Yeah.
Inequality, am I right? Anyway, second bullet point is conduct offerings to Apollo. So I'm going to be in the following month. I'll be hosting parties, trying to learn instruments. I'll be healing by slaying those who cause pain unjustly.
Okay, cool.
I will
politically on Olympus, you are very much throwing your any political power you have on Olympus, you're throwing it behind Apollo.
It's looking like that, I guess.
Okay.
And then the last point that I wrote down, the sun and light portion of Apollo, which is if there are moments when Apollo is off somewhere else, I will spend time with my artifact, lighting the way for travelers in place of Apollo.
Very cool. This is all actually very important for endgame stuff. So, very cool. Okay. I'm gonna open a new document for this. Hang on. Okay. So, Ouroboros, half giant following. Some Athenian following. You have supporting Apollo politically, lighting the way for travelers. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, other than the music, parties, instrument, heal by slaying those who cause pain unjustly. My third bullet point is Silenos sparring, quote unquote. So I'll be beating his ass or getting my ass beat. Who knows?
Yeah.
For about a month. Fourth bullet point is Calagamoth slaying / getting ring.
Going after Calagamoth, eh?
But we can.
No,
I don't
that's
know
fine.
if that needs to be a team kind of thing or.
It's probably gonna be a team. I assume you go to the team and be like, "Yo, guys, want to go fuck her shit up?"
Yeah, so that's what I'm planning on doing that month.
Okay.
Very packed schedule this year, as you can see.
That's fine.
And the last bullet point is erecting temples / meeting with devotees to instill that faith among the populace.
Got it. So you want to. So I will say, as a god, you don't go down and erect your own temple. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Right. Yeah.
It would mean nothing. You're just building a building. What you want to do is to have your followers build you a temple in your honor, and that would
exactly.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I say meeting with devotees.
Giants to as a show of faith, build my temple. Build a temple for me in your lands, if that's more your speed.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. You have has giants build him a temple, and that'll go a long way. That'll go a long way to your following, absolutely.
Hell yeah. And I would also like to make a point at some point to the people of Greece. Something to deal with treatment of slaves. As far as anyone who I catch hurting a slave unjustly, treating their slaves poorly.
Oh man, Zeus didn't like that one, he froze it. See if he comes back.
Kronos interfering.
Holy thunderbolt, Batman.
Thunderbolt.
Oh.
Okay. We'll come back to Ouroboros. Usually if I say it, he'll come back. We're going to move on from Ouroboros. Nope. But we're still going to do it anyway. We'll come back to him in a moment. Who's up next? But let's keep a pace going like Ouroboros had in the end there. So who's next?
I'll go.
Go for it.
I'll go. Or
Yeah.
you can go, Katara. Doesn't matter to me.
All right. Or yeah, okay, go ahead, Qatar. Absolutely.
Oh my god. I don't know. Just go, Gyasi.
Qatar's fair enough.
Well,
Qatar's up.
The first item that I want to do
Yes, yeah.
actually is going to involve Katara and Alesia.
Okay.
I'm planning on going to Athens to find some merchants, and the Skyphios is going to sail at the vanguard. We're going to Alexandria because I know that there's a circle of teleportation there, which
Right.
would be of interest to Katara.
Right.
It's a part of the world that Alesia has never seen, and it's an opportunity for me to go and see my mother.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
enter the Alexandrian harbor on a ship unlike anything that they have seen before.
Yeah. Mr. Worldwide. Okay, absolutely.
Oh, and Ouroboros is back, but he's been renamed Brandon. Man, what a weak name.
You guys don't know that guy.
Name.
That's a different
We'll-
character. Not at all impressive.
We'll finish up with Ouroboros once we're done with you, Gyasi, since we hit you up. Okay, so just putting Ouroboros info in the calendar so I can follow all this stuff. Okay, Gyasi, so just to review, you're going to Alexandria, you're going to Athens, and you're seeking, sorry, what were you doing in Athens?
Merchant vessels who would be interested in opening a trade route now that the seas are back to available.
Yeah.
Alexandria being a large port city, in a foreign spot, the opportunity for trade and commerce is there.
There is no shortage of individuals who would be happy to do that with you. Trade has been suffering, and thus merchants have been suffering. They're ready for a voyage. You probably have like a small flotilla of merchant ships who will follow you along. Absolutely.
And the Skyphios will run point.
And with the power of the bident you possess, that flotilla will be very well protected.
That's item one.
Right.
Item two is a mostly on me thing. I'm actually going to return to Athens and take the Navy. I'm assuming that Constantinople is still sieged to some degree by some of the troupettes of Kronos.
So Athens is, and you would be able to tell us. You like stand on the edge and you look off with your godly eyes. It isn't besieged anymore. It's kind of busted up. It's not really in use right now. It's considered a ruin. It needs to be rebuilt because after the defeat of the giants, they left.
Okay.
So there's still like squatters and looters and whatever else around the city, but it needs to be retaken and rebuilt by a military of some kind.
In that case, that will be that mission, is to reestablish, bring some law and order, put things in their place.
Understand. So there's something I want to throw out there for you, Gyasi, that might affect what you're doing. In giving you the bident, in saying, like, you would honor me by taking the bident, Poseidon threw his political support behind you. So you've been kind of pariahed in Olympus because of your actions to obtain the ambrosia. But Poseidon, being probably the second or third most important person on Olympus, has basically said, I'm cool with you. And that has a lot of weight. So while Zeus has made a decree that you will not be named a god acknowledged by Olympus until the end of the war, Olympus at large has come around to you because of Poseidon's actions. So you're a lot cooler people.
And that's the most significant thing that I want to do in Constantinople is that the first building erected out of the shattered remains is a temple to Poseidon. There at the junction where all of that sea traffic happens.
Got it.
The most prominent piece.
Got it. All right, so I have to talk to Poseidon's things. So similar to Ouroboros, now that you've been kind of welcomed into Olympus as a god, they would sort of be like, okay, now it's not your job to be there and be so hands-on. And they kind of guide you through that. So while this absolutely can be all achieved, they're like, no, achieve it. Make the Athenians do this, guide them to do it. Don't lead them to do it, guide them to it.
Well,
so,
and that's why I want to bring commerce back, because all of this is expensive. And by reestablishing those trade routes, that sea travel, all of those endeavors in Poseidon's name, erecting that temple, that's the direction.
Absolutely. So, so you're like not at the head of the ship doing it. The ones to Alexandria, I imagine, absolutely, because you're like, I want to go see my mom, and it's in another world of Greeks. So like you go do that. And then maybe while you're in Athens, you kind of guide things in that direction. Why don't you make me a persuasion check? Or let's make me a persuasion check to see if you can guide the Athenians to go deal with Constantinople.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I have inspiration. I'm using it.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a good choice. That gets me up to an 18.
There we go. Absolutely. You tell the Athenians, you basically like tell them, in essence, a prophecy. You're like, if you go to Constantinople, you will find the giants are gone and it will need rebuilding. The person who claims Constantinople and raises it back up will like have great influence in the mercantile world. And they're like, hell yeah. So part of the Athenian navy tests the waters, takes merchants, whatever they need with them to resettle Constantinople and build it back up, bring builders and everything. It's a little bit opposed by the actual administrator of Athens because they're, under the influence of Macedonia. But your word brings a lot of influence to the merchants and maybe one or two senators. Heading the endeavor to Constantinople to make his fortune and name on the world, a certain senator who now counts one of his daughters amongst the Olympians, rallies builders and merchants and warriors, and with the support of a large portion of the Senate, sails away to Constantinople to begin this project.
My third bullet point item is when we were on. I don't have the map in front of me. When we were on.
I'll put it in front of you. On roll 20, it should be up.
There we go. When we were on Samothrace, we were in that little tiny town, and there was a sailor that had only one leg, and he was sort of begging, and I dropped a bunch of cash onto him to establish himself as something beyond a sailor.
Right.
I want to look in on him in the Odin wandering god type way.
Absolutely. And you sort of appear as you do, maybe in mortal form, and look in. You see, and that's a point too, Gyasi. As a god, You may continue to like look like a beast, and that's like a tabaxi essentially, and that's fine. But if you had in your mind to your persona to appear in a different physical sense, you could do that as well. But anyway, as you arrive there, you would see that let's see. I would really love to tell you that he did a good thing with all that money. I wanted so bad the dice tell a story and said that that's not what happened. You go to him and he's still on the street, and you get the sense that he kind of pissed away all the money you gave him.
Oh no.
He's still going, come on, please, I'm falling on hard times, and like, we know that you're a gambling bastard, and they walk away, and you get the sense that he's kind of his own worst enemy a little bit, I'm sorry to say.
Well, that was worth a shot, and that puts me in the proximity to join with Ouroboros to head and poke Calagmus in the eye, which is the last item on my docket.
Hell yeah.
Okay, fantastic, Gyasi. We'll come back to that. Katara, why don't we hit you up next, since you were raring to go a moment ago?
Sure. Well, first thing, I wanted to go and hit up Hephaestus, and see if he wanted to get a little creative with some items that I have.
Okay.
And maybe make like something new. So I wear constantly the boots spider climbing, but I also have a bunch of items in my bag that I think could be fun to combine and try to make something new. So I have the Staff of Fate, Teeth of the Worm, and the Chromatic Dragon Blood.
Oh shit, okay. Very
So
cool.
I'm just like, I'm sort of sitting there being like, let's do like craft session with Hephaestus and come up with something fun that no one else is gonna have.
That's fair. I will say about your magic items, now that you're back to, well, now that your curse is gone, whatever, Pan will try and get his urn back from you.
I have potions to make.
Potions! Make a persuasion check to see if you can, like, tell him to leave it with you.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
26.
He says, alright, you might as well keep it. You're more into the potion-y thing than I am. And he'll let you keep it.
Sweet.
Okay, so those items, one more time, if you'd be so very kind. You're the Staff of Fate.
Yep. Boots of spider climbing. I have 5 teeth of the worm.
Okay.
And then I have the chromatic dragon blood that we got from that battle with the dragon that was the thing that Kronos corrupted or whatever. I had a
Time
vial of that. Yeah.
So he is going to be most fascinated with the Time Dragon Blood and the Staff of Fate, because while we're calling it the Staff of Fate in game, it's actually a chronomancy relic.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to look at those and be like, that's cool.
Okay.
Kind of tells you like, oh, I guess we could do something with the boots and the teeth if you really want, but the blood and the staff, that's cool stuff. And more than wanting, and he'll say to you like, I mean, I can try and make something out of it, which could be cool, but honestly, I'd much rather like take them apart and sort of understand sort of the craft of chronomancy and maybe learn something about Kronos that could help in the war, maybe? I might be able to develop something even like that could help us protect against the powers of Kronos. I don't know, the option is endless, but I'd love to study these relics and sort of disseminate them. But if you want me to put them together and try and make something more powerful, I can do that too.
Oh, Ryan. Oh. What do I do? She doesn't use the Staff of the Fate, so okay. She'll give the Staff of Fate and the Chronomantic Dragon Blood. Because to her, being able to one-up Cronus kind of sounds like fun.
Got it.
So yeah, she'll lend some support there for secrets of chronomancy. And maybe she'll reach out to like Athena to get her involved as well. Because she has that book, like the copy of the book that we made.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe those three.
Yeah, Athena hears about this and she goes, "Oh, absolutely!" And she's and she's gonna take the book and she's gonna spend a lot of time with Hephaestus, and they're gonna start working on understanding chronomancy and like maybe try and build something that can help prevent it. Try and figure it out essentially.
Okay. After that, like, while they sort of get working on that, I'll help when I can, but I would like to go to Aiea.
Okay.
And I want to take that island for myself.
Okay, absolutely. It's a bit empty right now. It has a palace. It has this old sort of half-ruined palace that's just waiting to be used. There's only a couple of, there's not a very large, populace of anything on it. Whatever sailors were on the beach kind of sailed away at one point.
Yep.
So it's pretty much empty. Yeah, if you want to turn it into your spooky lair, you certainly could.
Yeah, I wanted to, so basically she wants to sort of settle herself there, kind of like use that as the basis for her future following, but she kind of wants to appeal to the outcasts.
Yeah.
So she's going to spend some time going to visit her children, seeing if anybody sort of wants to go there, sort of join her. She might try to reach out to some drow, because again, another round of outcasts. And then there's also the dragons that she's promised to keep their place secret. So she's going to sort of appeal as the goddess of secrets with this idea of like she's going to offer added protection. There's a second place that they can seek sanctuary from, and maybe try to gain fellowship and allyship there.
Okay.
I also have druids and question marks, but I wasn't there with like the whole Zeus thing, so I wasn't sure if that'd be cool or not. If I'd be like.
Yeah, so Zeus and Inborn are still in talks during this 6 months. They're still talking, trying to understand one another, trying to create an alliance. So you go to Aiea to create, to make the island your center of worship. And you're going to try and appeal to people to go there and sort of worship you within the island. I want you to make a persuasion check for the cult of Hecate that you have raised up.
Sorry?
Make a persuasion check to try and bring the cult of Hecate into your following.
Oh, fucking shit. Can I do my inspiration for that? My little bracelet? Because that's garbage.
Sure.
Oh, so much better. Okay. Persuasion. 30.
30. To gain following of a group is not to take away from their faith of another god. A group of people is allowed to worship multiple people. The cult of Hecate will always primarily worship Hecate, as they have done for a long time, but that doesn't mean that they're not willing to follow you as well. The cult of Hecate begins to worship you on top of things as a minor god. You might remember during the ceremony where you like brought those youth in, you killed all those demons.
Yeah.
There were other gods in that temple as well they were worshiping. One such temple might be erected for you in Samothrace. A temple might, especially in the woods near Themyscira, a temple will be erected to you. and you might see some followers from there come to Ayaya. Make me a persuasion check for the drow.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think with part of the Hecate thing is that she's gonna appeal to the sense of like the secrecy that they'll be allowed to sort of continue with the magics and all that other stuff, and she's gonna add that element of protection.
Okay.
All right, the drow. 26.
Many drow who they have been lost for a while, as you get there, you realize they're already starting to come around to Thalia, so why not you? Between Thalia being this like beautiful god of grace, which is very much elven. Elves are very graceful creatures, so they would appeal to that, especially to their faith and community and love for one another. But there is also the sort of darkness and secrets within the earth that you appeal to very greatly. So they very much appeal to your sense of things. There are very few drow on the surface, but what few there are will go to the island. But under the earth where the drow commonly reside, you will gain a following for sure.
Yeah, and then the last, she was going to try to bolster that allyship with the dragons that they haven't called on yet, but she's going to go visit them and try to, again, forge a stronger alliance if she can.
How long would you spend trying to form good relations with the dragons?
How long did those things take me with the following?
That's up to you. How long would you spend on those? A month each, maybe?
Yeah, like a month. If I could do like a couple months with the dragons, try to form that alliance. I have one other thing that I was gonna kind of try to maybe work out with Gyasi and Silenos as like the last things that I'll be doing sort of at the tail end.
Okay, why don't you let me know about that and we'll come back to the drow stuff.
I was basically going to see if with like Gyasi and Silenos, the idea of like me going to the underworld, Silenos taking sort of like the land as like the hunter and really understanding that, and then Gyasi on the sea, using those sort of avenues, try to gain a bit of knowledge on like where the new gods are, what sort of plans, like trying to get some secrets, but like branching out of like underworld, land, sea.
Guess what, Katara? That was going to be the last thing. Is Silenos was going to scour the land to hunt for some titans.
Yeah, he's already on the water.
Yeah, so that was already part of my plan. So that can be whenever you want it to align.
Okay. And you, Gyasi, you're cool. You would want to do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So Katara, being the goddess of secrets, you go to Silenos, you go to Gyasi, your two friends, and try and learn from them the secrets of the sea, the secrets of the land, and bring those to the underworld to learn secrets of the underworld too. What was the item that we were just talking about that were like, how long is that going to take?
The dragons trying to bolster that alliance.
Okay, so you had 6 months. We'll say you spend a month with the drow, you spend a month working on the cult of Hecate. Make me a... man, I've already lost... What were you doing? Sorry, I've already lost you.
Dragons.
Dragons. Okay, make me a persuasion check with the dragons.
Okay. I'm afraid of all the dice. No, let's go with... Oh, okay. 29.
Okay. I will say the first 2 months are gaining following with Hecate and the Hecate followers and the route. And then the last, 4 months, you're not just standing there being like, hey, can we be friends? Hey, can we be friends?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a bit of a mix between the Gyasi Silenos stuff and this. 26. By the end of those 4 months...
29.
29, yeah. So by the end of those 4 months, you get there, especially now that you're a god, they're a little more guarded. It takes a while, but after 4 months of just fostering good relations, talking to them, maybe even bringing an emissary of them to talk to like another god, doing your very best to make things peaceful.
I could bring my kid.
Oh, what's his name?
I bring Cain.
Cain, you bring Cain. And Cain helps foster good relations. I will say that the dragons are a little more relaxed. You've made a lot of promises about how things can be good. They're like, okay, we've given you that boon to call on us when it's time to fight together. Let's see how that goes. And then maybe we'll talk with your god king. And then maybe try and find a way where we can all live together. And maybe tell them about like how the druids are there. Like the druids were ancient enemies, but they're there trying to make diplomacy. Now's the time. They're like, okay, that's a pretty good... and they seem convinced that if things go well, if they can unite in battle and fight side by side, maybe there can be peace if the gods are willing to talk about it.
Sweet.
You make good headway with them, absolutely. Okay, fantastic, Katara. Let's keep it going. We got half of you finished. Let's do the other half. Who's next?
Thalia, Silenos, you guys want to go first or should I?
You can go.
Okay. I guess I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah, this, let's... Do you want to have the chat with Pan up front out of the way?
Let's do everything else first.
Okay.
I want to get things moving.
Yeah, we need to get things moving. Okay. Well, for one, she just give Maeve a quick update, like, you know, write a letter back to the lands of Gaia real fast if she could.
It won't be able to get there because you were cursed never to see the lands of Gaia.
You're right. Never mind. I tell Ian one if he leaves. But hey, I try to help Ian. For one, I try to help Ian one. Try to reconnect between the druids and the gods. For one.
Okay.
Okay. Also, I take Korax up on his offer and have him lead me through the city.
There you go, hang out in Athens with Korax
and as well as like explore with Gyasi, like the other cities around the Aegean and the Mediterranean.
Okay, so we'll say you kind of follow Gyasi around and see the sights.
There's some time with Korax, you know. There's some of that.
Yeah, you hang out with Athens with Korax, absolutely.
And one thing I also would try to do is, if I'm able to do this, try and...
Let me ask you a question really quick about the Lands of Gaia stuff. Do you have any magical way of connecting with anyone on another plane? Like sending...
Oh, well, hold on. Good question. I don't think...
about that. He's so fucking messing up. So, it's fine. You get word to Lands of Gaia. It's all good.
Yeah, give him an update.
Okay.
Yeah, I let them know we're all still alive. I also am going to try and not just the cities, but also try to meet with, if I'm able to, meet and greet with the other peoples of the worlds, the dragons, the giants, and if I'm able to, or...
Alright, you don't know about the dragons.
Right.
You don't know what's going on there. I think we talked about how there's no dragons in the Lands of Gaia, so we're kind of not sure that dragon thing.
Okay.
So you're not really sure where dragons are at. Maybe you're told that they were like an ancient enemy, much like you, and they've kind of been gone extinct mostly. Except for a couple sparse people here or there. Maybe you see a dragon or two who were once aligned with the Olympians. I'm not sure who those would be, so I'll say you go see Ozin. There is a silver dragon to the south called Sparta, who resides in their mountains, and you go see this like big, beautiful silver dragon woman.
Wow.
Who is like an ancient historian, and has like a little ball of kobolds who kind of go around.
That's
Um,
amazing.
Yeah, the party knows about them and probably pointed you in her direction. She would have welcomed you. So you meet the silver dragon woman. So I'll put that in. Meets Ozen. She has a longer name, but they call her Ozen.
Ozen?
You maybe a persuasion check to see if the giants are cool with you, because they're kind of not into small folk.
It's tiny folk. Okay, persuasion.
I'm trying to change that.
I know.
Let's hope for the best here.
The god of pain.
15! So 16.
16. They kind of go to run you off, and you're like, wait, I'm an arc druid, and they're like, they don't know what that means, and they kind of run you off. You see them. You see like pretty much you see all of the giants except for storm giants. You see like a variety of each of them as you go there and like explore around in wild shape and stuff. So you see stone, hill, frost, fire, cloud. You see all of them except for any storm giants in animal form, but they don't actually welcome you into their society.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that's something to try another day. Something else I would try to do.
Okay.
Because something I realized when I was in the underworld, that many of the souls of many of the ancient druids are still down there.
Right.
And I would see, and if it's possible, I would try to go down there to maybe seek their counsel, or maybe see if, as like a diplomatic thing between like the gods and the druids, that maybe, okay, these guys can go to the lands of Gaia now and just.
Do you tell anyone you're doing this?
Oh,
Ask about
I talked to Ian Warren first about this, about my idea.
Everyone's like, well, let's find out about it before you do it, just in case, because like the underworld's supposed to be pretty dangerous. You can do this if you want, but a number of things are going to get in your way, or at least be playing against you.
Okay.
Which is that Hades, and for all of his faults, is an incredibly lawful individual. He's the god of the dead, and there is no defying death. When death comes for you, there's no changing it. If you go to Elysium, you go to Elysium. And he asks around about that, and he says, as for the fates of the druids, it doesn't matter what happens in Alliance now. It doesn't change what happened in the circumstances of their death. When they died, they were traitors to Olympus, and so they will remain in Tartarus. You can come and be friends with Olympus if you wish, but that will not change the fates of those who have already died. And something that'll be explained to you, the underworld isn't about good and bad. The underworld is about heroism and loyalty to the gods and glory and faith. It's not about good and bad. It's about heroism and loyalty to Olympus. Those are the things that determine where you go. So as they were traitors to Olympus and active enemies of Olympus, they go to Tartarus and they're going to stay there. So if you want to go visit them, you're going to have to descend into Tartarus, where no one will be pulling you out.
And I understand that this is, from what I've talked with others about Hades, like he is firm on this point, correct?
He is firm on this point. This is like beyond charisma check. He's like, I am the Lord of the dead. This is how it's always worked. This has been the benediction of death since time immemorial. Like, if you try and speak to him about it, or like, it's just like deadpan. He's like, he'll hear what you have to say, but it's not doing anything to him. He's like, this is the way of death. This is the way things are. I don't care if you don't like it.
Okay, so there's nothing I could potentially do on his behalf or anything, or to just earn.
No, you can't bribe me. I have wealth enough in my land.
I was never going to say bribe. I was just simply honor and earn the favor of, and in I wasn't going to use the word bribe.
He says to you, you can honor and you can make sacrifices and you can bring your loyalty to me and I will be happy for it. But it does not change what will happen to you when you die. If you bring me all the loyalty and all of the sacrifices and all the land, and you defy the gods, you will go to Tartarus.
I thank him for I thank him for hearing me out, and I take my leave.
There are many very emotional gods who can be swayed and persuaded and commanded by Zeus to do things. Hades is not one of them. When death comes, and if you have been glorious, or if you have been defiant to the gods, that will determine your fate no matter what your relationship with Hades is.
I returned to Ian 1 perturbed by that.
Yeah, you kind of come back because, like, where you come from, it's all about community. It's all about the goodness of everybody and coming together in the best world you can. It's very strange to come into position. Maybe it's humbling in a way, but also probably disconcerting to meet someone who is staunchly and unwaveringly held to his duty.
Yeah, there was definitely for Hades. There was definitely a lot of disappointment there, but I do think there was some kind of level of respect because, like, this is my code. I'm not breaking it for anybody.
Exactly. Even when he turned against the gods, he held true to his code.
Yeah, I think Alesia is incredibly disappointed about that, but also she respects it a little because it's not just the whims, so she gets that at least. But yeah, she is. But yeah, she goes to Ian 1 very sullen about that. I would also try and make Hephaestus happier with me because I know he and I didn't get off on the best foot when we initially met. I tried to aid his worshippers, perhaps, or because he gave me something, so I tried to make sure I fully appreciate that, I guess.
How do you go about this? Do you just try and be friendly to him? Do you try and show him worship and reverence? How do you go about this?
I friendly to him, do things he needs, and maybe help out maybe some of his worshippers who need something, or something like that. Like, to show that, like, I'm only good intentions with this.
Okay, make me a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage because you're following up your words with action.
Yeah. I help heat the forges with what he's given me.
Very easy for a druid to help people. That's basically what their spells are built for.
First roll is 16. Second roll is 10.
16? Okay, he sort of like warms up to you a little bit, no pun intended. He like, he's, he gets cool with you. He's not quite as like nervous around you or like uncertain around you, or he kind of warms up and is a little bit by the end of the 6 months. You kind of come into the forge and he kind of waves to you and has a smile on his face. He's not as uncertain.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I spent time with some Korax, right? Like, got to know him a little bit. Like,
you know, with him and maybe have a little fun with him, and he shows you around to various taverns. You've never been in a tavern before. That's kind of cool. And
like, oh wow. So I have to pay for stuff. What's money?
He'll teach you the very bare basics of how money works, and maybe give you a couple coins. We'll say like, take 5 gold as he hands drachmas to you, and he's like, "This is how you buy things, and this is how it works." Where are you from? And you'll get to know you, and you get to know him.
Yeah, I guess I'm also somewhat interested in seeing if I have that same kind of spark that Valerie kind of had with Leonis, and see if, like, is this how it works? Is over here?
Oh, you try and fall in love.
I mean, she's exploring. You know what I mean? Like, is this how it works over here? Like, she's messing with a machine she doesn't fully understand in some ways. You know?
Okay, it's okay. I almost regret that this is a downtime activity because that would be develop the idea of you being like, is this how love works? I'll tell
We
you
can
what.
fill it more later, but yeah, the
Tell you
details
what,
more.
I'm gonna say, and I hope you don't mind. Tell me if this is really disappointing, and we'll change it. But let's say that for the sake of like maybe exploring that in like active gameplay, because there's gonna be more plot to happen, more opportunities. We'll say that like you and Korax have fun, but there's just not that spark of love there. It's just you just can't. Like you have fun. It's kind of like in the lands of Gaia, and you two have a good time. It's not bad. I think bad happens between you two, but you just don't have that spark that you have seen with Thalia and Valerie and Leonis. It's just not there. But you do see it like amongst the people. Like you don't experience it, but you see it. You go around and you like see couples in love and walking down the street and holding hands and seeing love in the eyes, and then lovers like fighting viciously in back alleys, being like, "Yeah, I call you your fucking dog. Your mother is always a bitch," and they're like just yelling at each other, and then like and she's like, "Da, da, da, da," and then they grab each other passionately and start making out. And you're like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And you're starting to understand passion, especially in Athens, where it's this land of like ingenuity and creativity and academia and philosophy, and you come to understand passion secondhand for work or for love. You don't experience it yet, but you know it's out there by the end of this.
Okay, yeah, we can. There's definitely things we can roleplay more of as time goes on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And maybe it develops with Korax in game, but at least during these 6 months, you guys just kind of are like,
we're fuck buddies.
Yeah, you walk around and you talk, and you're generally like good friends by the end of the 6 months.
Yeah, they get along well. And finally, Pan. But that's probably going to be more. The start of that's probably going to be more an in-depth roleplay thing. So I think we may have to save that for later. I want other people to get their time in.
Yeah, all right. And we'll come back to you. I promise. We're gonna get that in there.
That's totally cool.
Find a place for it. I just want to get everybody done first.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thalia and Silenos. How about you two?
I can go.
Okay. Why don't you go for it?
The first thing Thalia wants to do is take a vacation.
Nice.
Everyone's got all this important shit to do, and Thalia's been at war for a long time, so I think she's ready to take a break.
Can I ask you a quick question? What is the name of your father again? It's okay if you don't remember. I'll find it.
It is Vasilis Erdi.
Vasilis?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking sweet name, man. Holy shit, that's the name of my next character. Vasilis?
Vasilis, yeah.
Damn, bro. Sorry, please, continue.
So I go on vacation and I want to take turns inviting my lovers over and I don't know, maybe I find somewhere very tropical on the beach with like hot springs and somewhere very attractive for all my lovers to come and visit if they would like to. And that would also include Valerie, so I might have to sneak her away, so I would try to teleport her off the Olympus.
Plane shifter off the mountain?
Oh, I have the plane shift?
Yeah, this is another plane of existence.
I would find Katara and see if she could help me plane shift my lover off the mountain.
Alright.
Sure.
Fantastic.
For a vacation, it's a really important stuff, yeah.
You want to go to Cyprus. Cyprus has beautiful beaches.
Oh, sure, Cyprus.
And it is the land of love, in a way. Or where you first met Leonis, which would be Kythros, hang on, Kythera, which similarly has nice beaches. Both are dedicated to Aphrodite and love and all that.
Sure, we'll go to Katara.
Okay, you go to Kythera, which has a prominent temple of Aphrodite. It's not too big. It's kind of like that nice, like sort of Greek islands, sandy beaches, really fun. Okay, and you're going to invite your various lovers. Do you intend to like teleport them there, or do you just kind of hang out there for 6 months and let them trickle in?
I think I can teleport most of them in.
Okay, you go round them up.
Niobe, Olympia, Pyrenees, Lace,
Oh god.
Valerie, Athena if she'll come, Dodo, and Theos.
Yeah.
I would
This is
extend
my-
an invitation to it.
This is my favorite downtime activity. Okay.
Buddies, assemble.
Yeah, I know. Kithara for vacation summons all lovers, which are conspicuously mostly women. Could you please tell me? Give me the list again. You. So we
Valerie.
got Athena, we got Valerie. Shit, I can't spell apparently. Valerie.
Valerie.
Niobe.
Niobe,
All
Renthia,
And she was the queen of
Siphios,
That's right.
Pyrenees, and Laius. Which
This is like,
Leonis'
are we doing a
friends.
bachelorette? Is that what's happening? Sorry, we got Queen Ruthia. Who's next?
Pyrenees and Laius.
Who?
Those are.
Oh, Freeney and Laius. That's right. That's right.
Oh, Freeney, sorry.
Do you just have like a full list on the side? Because if so, that's amazing. Just
Yeah.
like every time.
And the Inquisitor, but I can't remember her real name.
Nepenthe.
Nepenthe. Yeah, I would invite her.
I gotta write down where all these people are from, so when I come back, I can go. Oh, that's who that is. Seraphos, Queen Niobe. Man, there's gonna be some drama on this island. It's gonna be Love Island over here. And Nepenthe. A lot of queens, a lot of really important people. You clearly have a type. Is there anybody else? What about your boy toy from the ship?
That's Theos.
Oh, Theos. Okay, cool.
The only man that made it.
The only man who made it.
Points. Bonus points, honestly, for remembering their names.
Theos,
Or,
boy
yeah.
toy.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else?
Dodo.
Dodo?
Yeah, she was the what do you call it?
Acolyte?
Acolyte, thank you.
Oh, she's the one who came on the ship?
Yeah, she
Oh.
followed me around for a while,
Damn,
and
this is
then
a
it got
blast.
too
This
dangerous.
is a blast from the past. Dodo, and she came from Kithara, right?
I can't remember where she came from.
We're gonna say she came from Kithara. Or I'm looking into my map. Acolyte of...
This is like one of those Mass Effect 3 DLCs where you get all your companions to come
Yeah.
to that one place.
Gotta go hang out at the Citadel for a little while.
Yeah, dude. That was like my favorite fucking DLC.
I know, that was great. Full fan service, but it was great.
Yeah.
Anybody else that Thalia would like to... No, that's it?
That's it.
Okay. So just to put the fun in there, the drama in there, Queen Renthia is happy to show up. She's like established a place for her people. She's no longer actually a queen, since Seraphos has been burnt to the fucking ground. And she doesn't have anyone to support her rebuild of Seraphos. So she shows up. Freeney and Laius are all but too happy to show up as long as you have the coin. Valerie will show up, but she's not doing good, man. Like she needs help walking around. Like the sickness and she asks for diamonds for greater restoration so that she doesn't have to feel horrific all the time, like horrifically hungry and thirsty all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to supply some diamonds to her, she'll show up for a little while.
Sure.
How much gold would you be willing to give her for diamond purchase?
Well, see, I don't have any gold. I got all this.
Right.
This is weird.
So I'm gonna say for Freeney and Laius, they're happy to come because they're like, I've never slept with a god before. They have, but they don't know that. So they're happy to come regardless. Would you? This is just like a total offside thing. Would you try and secure some diamonds for like greater restorations to like help Valerie function?
I have a few diamonds, but
How
Point
much
ki-
is greater restoration?
Yeah.
Thalia, point Gyasi at where the diamonds are. I'll go liberate them. I'm certain that they're just rocks.
All right. We'll say.
Well, I would try to convince her that getting off Mount Olympus for a little while would be good for her.
Oh, she'll go with you no matter what. She just wants to go there and like not be laying in a bed unable to move.
I can't cast Great Restoration.
She can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give her. I don't know. It's 100.
I think it's 100 a casting, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll give Thalia 5,000 gold to buy diamonds.
Holy shit! Damn. Thank you, Katara. That's generous.
2,000, you said?
Oh,
So,
Five.
oh, 5,000, okay. So that is, damn, man. It's fine. 5,000, Thalia, you do that.
She's gotta heal us too, so like go 5 diamonds.
Gyasi, I'm gonna have you make me a couple quick rolls just to see if you like pull off a cool diamond heist for Valerie's sake. If you're around to do that real quick.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Yep.
We'll make it nice and simple, as I assume you're gonna go for the biggest hit. Make me, here's the rolls. I need a stealth check. I need a thieves tools check, and we'll get to the others later.
Now we're playing GTA 5.
I know.
Stealth check of a 31.
All right.
Thieves tools.
Vacation is really important.
Vacation's important.
Right. And if there's a
Thief-
diamond heist along the way,
Thieves tools of a 27.
Fantastic, and the last check is investigation, perception, or deception, your choice.
We'll go with investigation. Which is also a 27.
7. You liberate 5,000 gold pieces in diamonds and deliver them to Thalia if you wish.
Absolutely.
And, you know, this is going to be a long time for Valerie, but she has them on hand to use them on important days for herself. And she's, like, immensely thankful. But for the large portion of these 6 months, she's, like, she has someone, like, follow her. She probably, like, summons something to, like, some beast to, like, help kind of cart her around because she's, like, so sickly from thirst and hunger, but can't die. So that every now and then on the islands, she'll sit around the island, but she basically like sits like all like emaciated and shit, like in a sun chair with like a hat on, and it's almost like you have a corpse like coming around with you guys.
No, poor Valerie.
Yeah, her curse is terrible. But on 1 or 2 nights, she will expend a number of diamonds to like fully revitalize herself and hang out, and like have a good night with you. I think, you know, Dodo's there. Theos is just like overwhelmed, but happy to be there.
Still make them carry my bags.
Oh.
I
Literally, as a god doesn't need bags, finds bags for carrying. He does happily again. Athena probably doesn't show up. She's like, yeah, I'm trying to find the deity of time. I'm so sorry. I just got a lot on my plate. I'm trying to keep this war going. I'm glad you're enjoying your vacation, though.
Yeah. Sorry I didn't reply to your RSVP.
Yeah, sorry I didn't BYOB this party. I had stuff to do. A war, you know. Niobe and Nepenthe like stare daggers at each other a whole bunch. But it's generally a good time. There's definitely a bit of drama and fighting over you and your time, Thalia, which I'm sure is
I love that.
which is great. Is there anything else you'd like to do, or you just like have 6 months of vacation?
No, I don't have 6 months of vacation. That's like 2 weeks.
Okay, gotcha.
I want to spend the large amount of my time actually campaigning across Greece and spreading the message that the end of the second Titanarchy is nigh.
Okay. Spreads a message of hope to Greece for the end of the war. Okay, what else?
And I try to garner followers during that time. I want to specifically spend time within Athens with the nymphs and Jow.
Athens nymphs draft. Maybe a persuasion check to see how that all goes.
And I also have persuasion.
Yep. You could succeed.
30.
Yeah. Okay. You could succeed a persuasion check for me, please, real quick. 34. Yeah. Ouroboros, man, you're doing your best out there. Like, you got some giants, you got some Athenians, and you like come back and you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to brag or nothing, but I got like half of all giant kind. Like, it's pretty good for 6 months. And like the Athenians, Thalia shows up, and like Athens is getting ready to pitch a temple for her. The drow definitely already did over the course of the 6 months. Many of the, like, a vast majority of the Oceanid nymphs have flocked to her grace. Many Aphrodite followers. She's doing pretty good. She's probably got the largest following of anyone in the Demithots.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The nightmares get worse, Ouroboros.
I get it, man. Yep. Just keep getting fucked. No, I'm just playing.
Incredible. Is there anything else, Thalia?
Yeah, I want to make offerings to Aphrodite, Zeus, and Poseidon.
Okay. I will say, like, as a god, you're like, as a god now, you can show your support to them, but it's less like worship. And they will explain that to you. They'll be like, oh yeah, they'll like, you know, appreciated your worship, especially as moral. But now that you're a god, like, it's more about political support. It's more about like support amongst Olympus than actually like praying and making sacrifices. They're like, that's for the mortals.
Okay.
You are an Olympian now. It is your job. Like, if you want to throw support for us, like, support us socially amongst the other Olympians.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can do for all of those guys if you want.
I'll do that instead. I'll still, when I'm like visiting the temples of Aphrodite in the mortal world, I'll still like make little offerings there. But I'll show my support for Zeus and Poseidon and Aphrodite, and then also just kind of, I would like to be.
Sir, Thalia, do you invite Zeus to your little love island?
Not the party, no. He would get a private.
Okay, alright.
I think he would get a private audience.
Got it.
And
Maybe a stealth check.
stealth check.
See if Hera hates your guts or not.
She should.
Oh, fuck.
Can any of us help her with this, or like?
Don't
we
help her. She doesn't need your help. Obviously.
Hera's the one that teleported Zeus.
Thalia's just like fully openly going to bang Zeus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm still hiding it.
I'll get back to you about that.
Are you trying to start a war, girl?
Roll a 5. Okay.
I love that. Like, oh gosh. It's like, oh, we're gonna end the Titan Valkyrie ever, and then it's like, but we're gonna start a war with the gods.
We're gonna start the war, yeah. That might not be the worst thing.
Right.
Over you. You're like,
Yeah.
oh no.
A war over me.
Please don't fight over me.
No, maybe do it a little longer, actually. Is there, what else?
What are you, Helen of Troy? Come on.
I don't know if this is too much. It might be too much, but
Yes.
I would like to. Oh, never mind. For some reason I thought I wasn't proficient with perception, but I guess I am. Oh.
Okay.
So never mind. Okay, the very last thing I would like to do is curse Thetis.
Oh man, alright. So I'm gonna curse Zeus. Or Thetis.
Yeah.
How do you curse her?
I would like.
Do you turn her into something? Do you...
No, I would like for her to grow a wart every time she like does something negatively or like thinks poorly or says something in distaste of Aphrodite.
Oh. Wart every time she blasphemes against Aphrodite.
Yeah.
So there's two resulting things that happen. There's two resulting things that happen here. The first of which is a lot of the Olympians don't know you did this, and they will basically think Aphrodite did it and kind of give her the credit.
Oh, yeah.
Would you want to take that credit for yourself? You don't think it would be in bad taste, if you wanted to. Would you flaunt it?
I think so.
Okay, so
It's
you're the
my first curse. I think I
it's my first curse on Olympus, guys. So you're like, guys, I cursed someone for the first time. The Olympians are like, that's great! I'm so this is congratulations! Who was it? And they're surprisingly supportive of you cursing a mortal. The second thing is, I'll have you roll it. Roll me an even-sided dice. On an even, it's going to be bad fallout. On an odd, it's going to be extra bad fallout. Fourth that, it's not for you.
Oh. Odd.
It's fine. If you want it to be extra bad, it's fine. I'm sure as a god you can arrange it. So Thetis, every time she blasphemes again, during the course of the months, they're this starts happening, we're not sure what's going on. Eventually the mortals, others of the priests begin to sort of catch on what's going on with Thetis, and it ends up being that the people where she's being a priest in, they end up taking her out into the streets and stoning her to death. You said,
oh shit, I didn't mean to kill her.
Yeah, they're they fear the wrath of God, and they stop and kill her.
Thalia, what did you do?
Kill Thetis. Oh,
Graceful.
I didn't mean to kill that dude in Sparta. These things happen. They're accidents.
Oh
Good
my
job.
god.
Good
It's
job.
Thalia's sitting there, she's getting congratulated. It's I went a little too hard button.
Yeah, the Olympians are ooh.
Do we find out about this?
It happens.
She doesn't know her own power yet.
Yeah, it happens somewhere. Hey, don't be too buggered up about it. It happens.
I knew this was in her all along.
And maybe a couple comments under her breath.
Yeah.
I knew it was only a matter of time.
To basically show a visible sign of ugliness every time she blasphemes against the god of love. And the people around her look at that and go, okay, a priest of Aphrodite is being cursed by presumably Aphrodite or someone close to her. If we don't do something about it, they're going to curse us. So let's kill the blasphemer. And everyone's like, yeah, sounds like a logical next step. And they all go stone her in the street to death.
I could bring her back, but I'm not going to.
Okay. Anyway.
That's all. That's my downtime. I accidentally killed Thetis.
You didn't kill her, they killed her.
You're right.
But they did it in your honor. They did it they're Thalia, god of grace, we sacrifice her in your name, we've heard your words. It's very much like that. And you're like,
oh shit. Well, I'm gonna capitalize on it and I'll come down with it.
capitalize on it. Okay, you capitalize.
This is starting to look very ungraceful.
And you come down and well, I was gonna say before you said that, ironically, you gain followers through fear. That village is Thalia, we don't want her to be mad at us. And they
Dude. I can't even fucking get followers through fear.
Thalia, you're the first person to party to gain a human sacrifice as a sacrificial offering.
Oh shit. Do I feel any different?
Yeah, you feel great. Zeus is don't get used to it. I know it's a bit of a high, but don't
don't get used to it.
I mean, you're gonna end up like Ares if you.
Oh boy, that was eventful. Yeah, that's all I've got.
I fucking hate this game.
I think it's funny. But anyway, moving right along. Last but not least, Silenos, god of fellowship, the Slayer. What do you do?
Yes, sir. I have a few things. First off, Silenos would like to convene a meeting with Artemis and her huntresses and Zeus. I would like to summon the huntresses to Olympus if possible.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd like to have a conversation with Artemis about.
I don't think like mortals aren't allowed on Olympus. Like it's just
Oh, they're more my mistake. I thought they were more so like kind of followers of her. All good, no problem. I can just have the conversation with Artemis.
yeah.
Yeah. What Silenos would like to do, is Silenos would like to spend at least 1 month, maybe two, going across Greece with the huntresses, and trying to bond with them, hunt with them, show them the like fellowship, similar to their sisterhood, and then he would like to lead them to the Amazons as well. And he is going to try and basically in that conversation with Artemis make the huntresses of Artemis similar to the paladins of Zeus, more so of like a moving force of Olympus on the ground. And yeah, make them part of Silenos's watch as well.
Okay. So okay, fantastic. So yeah, and that's a long voyage, and it's very much treated, I think, by these hunters as like a pilgrimage. You're like, go to Themyscira and power will be granted unto you in a sort of like divine prophetic kind of way. And they're like, okay. So they spend the next couple months traveling, up north out of Arcadia, up into the northern regions of Greece, across Thracia, and into Themyscira. And when they get there, you and Artemis essentially have those hunters that made the voyage and survived, which is most of them. Basically, like, bend the knee and take the Oath of Ancients, which is, like, will be an oath dedicated to the preservation of nature. I will say Artemis likes the idea, and she kind of disappears for those months. And she finds this Oath of Ancients, a very, very old ancient oath that was sort of almost lost to history for a while. And your hunters will be like ranger paladins.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, Silenos.
I'll take it. I'm gonna slightly take it a step back. I'm gonna say only the most elite, like truly only the most skilled. Because if you just think about the stat distribution, like that's 13 wisdom, 13 charisma, 13 strength, 13 dex.
Mm-hmm.
So only the most like capable, like the very elite of the hunters of Artemis managed to be able to undertake this oath, and then they become these like elite paladin rangers under your and Artemis's guidance. Absolutely
Amazing. And yeah, so with that, I will have those paladins lead their own sects of huntresses of Artemis, and mentor them across Greece, and they will fan out all across Greece.
Okay.
To meet in different lands, and they will go to all temples of Artemis, rallying any fighters who don't have anywhere to fight.
Got it. Rally
behind the moral of fellowship and sisterhood and protection.
And that's why you brought them to Themyscira, to like build ties with the Amazons, I assume?
Exactly. The Amazons are very sisterhood tied, as are the huntresses, who Silenos was accepted by. And he's very much about protecting your allies.
Okay, so Yeah, you bond with them. They go on this pilgrimage to Themyscira. You grant some of the best of them the rights as paladins of the Oath of Ancients. They fan out into Greece, and they begin to rally probably women warriors, because they'll start associating with Themyscira in that way. So women warriors, and they will sort of become either rangers or paladins, and the very, very, very small few who are capable enough of both under the Oath of Ancients and the Cause of Fellowship.
Yeah, no problem. Silenos is just he's spreading out his influence of protection with friends and fellowship and guidance. Secondly, Silenos would like to aid in the hunt of the Titans on land. I don't know if I have to do any sort of checks for that.
Sure, make me...
Survival.
Yeah, make me a survival. If these are you, what's your greater favorite enemy?
Let me see.
Are they elementals or?
Yeah, elementals. Yeah.
Oh, it's elementals. Okay. Oh, right. You're not a revised ranger. My apologies.
Humanoids, celestials, and elementals.
Okay, I'll give you advantage then. Yeah, make me an advantage survival check to track them.
Natural 20 and a natural 1. Natural 20 for a total of 30.
Fuck. Okay. I'll say you go looking around. You scour Greece. Okay. You learn a couple of things. You don't. I'll say you have like a quick run-in, but you sort of like fall back. You at one point find Kronos and Atlas, like deep within the earth. Under Thrace, and you like disappear. Like it's very quick. You vanish. You go tell the gods where they are, and when they come back to get them, they're gone. And during your hunt over these 6 months, you recognize a couple of things. They are not hiding anywhere that is inscrutable, but they are using the power of time to like, you know, Days of Future Past, X-Men Days of Future Past, where basically they like. The Sentinels find them, they send Kitty back in time to warn them, and then they get out. That's what Kronos is doing. He's like waiting around somewhere hidden for as long as he can. When the gods show up, him and Atlas sort of rewind time and disappear. And so that's what you learn. So you learned that. They didn't know that was going on. You learned that.
So they're just biding time, realistically. They're hiding for as long as they can and then popping up in wherever they pop up, whenever they pop up.
That's right. So that's the first piece of information. They're biding time and they're hiding in time is what they're doing.
Understand.
The second thing you recognize is that there's very strangely enough, there's specific events going on around Greece that nobody's looked at intensely enough other than you. And you recognize that Kronos is very subtly changing certain events in the mortal world. You don't know why, but he is focused on seemingly unimportant events and individuals within Athens, Corinth, and Sparta. There's like individuals there in the government, military, clergy, and he's using time to sort of influence their fate. And it seems like a
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Athens, Corinth, and where?
And Sparta.
Got it.
Yeah. It seems you can't figure out why, but you know that he's doing it. You kind of figure that out by the end of the months. The last thing you're going to figure out is that of the hiding places that Atlas and Kronos have had, they are largely in the southwest of Greece. They're sticking close to those 3 cities for some reason. You know that's where their following is strongest too, like sort of hidden in the streets. It's where the cult of the Titan is strongest, though they have diminished forces there. You don't know if that's important or not, but they're physically hanging out around there for some reason.
Got it. big
Those are
3
the three things
cities.
you find out. Athena is overjoyed to hear those and is interested in continuing the investigation in the coming months when you sort of bring that to her on the 6th month.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so that would be all of time between establishing.
I'll say that is what you find. That's not all your time to
Okay,
use.
no problem.
That is what you find out by the 6th month in your
Towards the end, gotcha, no problem. And yeah, I think the only other thing, Silenos just wants to become a really sick archer. I want to go across Greece and fell some big ass enemies that are torturing people that can't defend themselves. Silenos is gonna do some godly training.
Okay.
Yeah. In the meantime, while traveling, if he sees people in distress or anything like that, he's gonna. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm just recording
Of course.
information. Time around scene. Okay, and that last piece, and you want to become a dope ass ranger.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some kind of just archery training and feats of strength, not necessarily strength, but yeah.
Make me one last survival check.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight roll. To hunt some like monsters and creatures and whatnot.
No problem. It's gonna be a 24.
24. I'm going to say you find a number of individuals, a number of creatures. You find some elemental creatures, some of those larger elemental creatures like the phoenix and the earth thing, and you end up actually finding a leviathan, this like great like elemental serpent creature, and you end up slaying it. You find a number of monstrosities that are not quite as powerful as the Tarrasque, but getting up there. You slay those. And I'm going to say that you gain a larger following amongst just like regular, unfactioned trackers, trappers, and hunters. And Greece is going to sort of be impressed by your level of skill. Dopan's gain influence with hunters. Okay, so anything else?
Last thing I might talk to maybe Hephaestus about this. Silenos would just like to establish some sort of home base for the huntresses of Artemis, somewhere central. I was thinking possibly maybe like the Argonian forest.
Okay.
And then I was thinking of a way that I could do that. Silenos does have rope trick, so if Hephaestus had any cool way he could make that magic more permanent, or anything like that, Silenos would spend time out in the forest making a kind of rope trick system up in the trees that the huntresses can act as a home base.
Okay. And where were you doing this again? This was in the Themyscira?
The Argonian forest.
Okay. The Argonian forest. Is that the one near Themyscira, or is that the one...
I believe it's near Themyscira. It's where Silenos like grew up and where he used to hunt. Yeah.
Okay, that is down...
That's Sparta, dude.
That's, yeah, you're down in Arcadia in the Spartan region.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, whatever makes most sense. If that's kind of central and that could make sense as a base,
Okay.
Sure.
I'll tell you what, why don't we make it happen up near Themyscira, because you've taken all of the followers you grew up with and you've like moved them up towards Themyscira.
Yeah, exactly. A little more towards Greece and stuff.
So in those regions around there, I'll say, sure, you work with Hephaestus, and I'll say for their victory of completing their quest, and like to sort of entice the Themyscirans to like come together. So they get up there and they start getting along with the Amazons, and to sort of like show your approval, you go to Hephaestus and he applies these blessings. So we'll say that the Amazonian forests now have these various rope tricks and various sort of magical, rangery, special defenses.
Yeah, just like kind of outposts that they can check in at, like a little hunting lodge or like that kind of stuff, where the groups can check in and stuff, or that kind of stuff.
Okay, establishes
Ranger outpost.
fences and outposts around Themyscira as a blessing for taking in hunters marks. And I will say that the Themyscirans begin to worship you, Silenos. Very interesting. I want you to make me a persuasion check to see if they're willing to actually worship you being a male deity.
Gonna be a 24.
They begin to worship Artemis, especially more. They were really into Ares, and now Artemis is like right up there with Ares now. Increases dramatically. And though they don't actually erect a temple or anything like that in your honor, many Amazons begin worshiping you in the privacy of their homes and businesses. And your worship isn't, it's sort of like we don't fully acknowledge it, but it's like everybody knows it's there, but we don't fully say it. So your worship increases there as well.
It's okay. I'll make them sing my phrases. We'll see. That's awesome. Yeah, that I believe would be it.
Okay, fantastic. I promise, Alesia, we're going to get to your pan conversation, but before we do that, these 6 months come to an end. Yeah, Ouroboros, you got cut off before you could finish. Was there anything else that you wanted to do?
Other than what I put in the chat as far as slaves and stuff.
Could you tell me about that?
I will send word that anyone who mistreats their slaves or who gives pain with no legitimate reason will be cursed with pain for 7 generations.
Eternal toe stubbing.
And caveat to that, those who seek pain for their enemies, I will bestow the strength and the constitution in order for them to battle their foe.
Okay. You are going to draw the attention of Nemesis on Olympus, and your various declarations. She doesn't take it badly. As your various declarations to the mortal world, here and there, very much enforce the idea of revenge. So you will basically have like thrown your support in with Nemesis as well, and she with you. So you'll gain like political support from Nemesis as you go. Nemesis gives and happily receives support from Ouroboros, and you begin to sort of speak through the mortal world that like pain is a sacred thing, and it should not be dealt out without good cause. It should not be a frivolous thing to deal out. It is a sacred thing. So I'm going to say that you lose a little favor with Ares, though. Ares is like, come on, man, like slaughter, war, right? And you're like, no, pain's sacred. Ares support lost. So yeah, you gain some support politically with Nemesis, lose some with Ares. She doesn't have as much pull as Ares does, but This is your doctrine, this is your decree. And the mortal world will begin to sort of come around to this idea that pain should only be given with good reason and not with, like, not frivolously. The Spartans don't change their ways, like they still perform the annual beatings of the slaves there, to sort of like make sure they understand that they are slave civilians and they are not full civilians. And they do this because they consider it to be with good reason. They're making sure that the slave populace understands they are not Spartan. They live here, they're respected and whatever, but they are not Spartan. So they do that, and it's cruel and whatnot, but they believe it's done with good reason. The agoge that they perform with Spartan children to make them into such vicious warriors, which is frankly like horrifically abusive.
Yeah.
They keep doing that. Like,
That's cool. I don't care about cruelty, just pain that is given with
without
no other reason other than to hurt another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Pain for the sake of pain. That starts to be reduced as a number of individuals, quite a few number of individuals with violent tendencies, their families begin to be afflicted with several generational curses. And it gets to the point where Zeus is like tells Ouroboros, he's like, I want to make a persuasion check to see if you can keep this flying with Zeus, because there's a lot of unnecessarily cruel individuals in the world, and this is a large influence on the world.
But I'm making the world better. I don't think you've given me an inspiration, but that'll be an 8.
An 8. He is going to tell you you're allowed to do this, but he is, by divine decree, saying that you can't curse 7 generations of the family. You're allowed to curse the individual, but not the family.
And then I would retort.
Okay.
But Father, what if those violent individuals don't care about themselves? They don't care what they do to people? Surely they would care about their kin down the line.
And what of your hypocrisy, Ouroboros? You claim to be trying to protect the innocent. You're trying to claim that you are punishing the wicked to protect the innocent from unnecessary pain. What about those kin that are uninvolved with the crime? Especially the ones who will not even remember the name of the one who afforded their family their curse. Your generational curse is hypocrisy, and I will not allow it. The individual may be cursed. If you wish to torment them worse than that, then so be it. But I will not have innocent Greeks cursed under the price of one.
Innocent Greeks cursed, Father. Speaking of hypocrisy.
Be very careful, Ouroboros. You are immortal no longer. I have shown you great favoritism. Do not make me regret it.
As you will it, Zeus.
Okay. And certain curses are pulled away from the families of those who are done this. Zeus rebukes this, and you are forced to do as he says. Do you do what he says?
Yes.
Okay.
But those that deal the pain will lose the limb that they use to give it.
Got it. Rebukes this, but allows the curse of the pain-giver.
The lettuce thing was an accident, by the way. I want to keep all my things.
Oh, he doesn't care. He's like, oh no, that's fine. That's whatever. He's like, she was a blasphemer. Like, it's fine. She's cool with that, or he's cool with that anyway. Okay, so you come to the end there, Alesia. I promise we're gonna get to your thing, but it will be a next session thing. I'm sorry to say, because I want to tell you guys what happens on Olympus during the 6 months. Many of the gods, not all, but many of the gods, go hunting alongside Silenos with everybody. I think we're gonna play out the Kalagamoth thing in game because that just sounds like too much fun. So we will deal with that next week, where you all go together and fuck Kalagamoth's shit up, hopefully. But anyway, you guys all do all of your things. Apollo returns to the sky and he enjoys the reprieve of being able to just be a god again. Poseidon goes to his realm and starts heavily cleaning things up. But many of the other gods continue to sort of seek and fight in the war. Well, there's nothing much to fight, but they do their best to seek out things and slay the cultists and followers of the Titans where they can be found. And that's kind of it. But there is one important note. Amongst all of this, good things are happening. There is some fights between Ian Warren and Zeus. Not so much fights, but like Zeus is angered by Ian Warren. Not so much that anything bad happens to Ian Warren, but they're basically locked in like philosophical conversation for these 6 months. They talk and they talk and they talk and they talk and they speak on diplomacy in the past and forgiving the past and the actions of Zeus and the actions of the Druids and Ian Warren's behavior, Zeus's behavior, and so on and so on and so on. They talk and they talk and they talk and they talk. In the end, after 6 months of talking, Zeus declares that an alliance will begin to emerge between the gods and the Druids. It needs to be negotiated and figured out, but Zeus decrees that the time of hatred towards Druids may come to a pause, and that an attempt at an alliance, working together, seeing where it goes, may begin. Zeus declares that basically an official armistice between them will be formed in Troy. And he picks Troy because Troy was a site where the gods pitted the mortals against one another and there was horrific results. And he picks this place as a sort of, let's remember our past and be better for it. And this is why he picks Troy. So he says this, he personally will go there and Ian Warren will go there. Alesia and Valerie will be expected as well. And let's see here. Ian Warren requests that you all, the Demithots, sort of go with Zeus on behalf of Olympus and the lands of Gaia, as you two both, as your party has alliances with both factions. It would be a show of good faith, and Zeus agrees. So, when we come back next session, a couple things are going to happen. We'll have Alesia's conversation with Pan. We're going to go see about destroying Kalagamoth once and for all. And we're going to deal with the armistice between the Druids and the gods in Troy. And then we'll see what happens next. But that is sort of where the war is at. And you have all achieved much in your short time, acquiring worshippers and whatever else. Well done. We'll pick it up next week.
Nice. I want to curse people.
I
I didn't know we could do that. That's so much fun. I want to bring in the unbreakable vow shit from Harry Potter. Like, come on, that's fun.
Unbreakable vow sounds fun. We never asked this, but I gotta know, like, how was Hyperion defeated?
Most of the remaining gods, not including Zeus, who stayed on Olympus and ensured that everything was safe there, and a number of other gods stayed behind. But many gods rallied, and while Oceanus was busy with all of you, they sort of pincer attacked Hyperion alongside Apollo. So they basically it was tough to beat them both at the same time, but because they kind of watched each other's backs. But while Oceanus was busy and his eyes were on all of you in battle, Hyperion, while night had fallen, was not vulnerable, but certainly more susceptible to attack. So the rest of the gods rallied and fought and defeated Hyperion.
Nice.
Okay, nice. Excellent.
That's definitely an Athenian plan.
Mhm.
Mhm.